Yeah. I like this hashtag video. I'm gonna call this one. Did you see my hashtag video? Put a bunch of hashtags in it. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I hung out with some new people yesterday. And I like them. Nothing negative to say. And they're like, there was a husband and wife, my kid's friend's parents. And so, like, she's like a low-level truther. And then he is, I mean, I don't mean low level like any sort of negative. I mean, they're just sort of like getting into it and starting to figure things out. And she said that she had a bad bout with COVID. And when she sort of came out of the COVID, she was a completely different person. Her mentality was completely different. And, I mean, it's strange, like you say to somebody like, I don't believe in COVID, and they go, well, I got super sick, and you go, yeah, but you got super sick. The one thing COVID got us to do more than anything is forget that people get sick and people die, and every day from all kinds of shit. The guy that runs every day and eats only good food and takes good care of himself and just got tested at the doctor drops at a fucking heart attack at 39. Like, that shit happens all the time. And COVID got us to forget that. So, like, and something that never gets talked about, it's like, well, let's just say prior to COVID, she actually sort of believed what she was told. As you're watching this COVID be presented to you, do you know how much mentally and physically that fucked with people? If you were somebody who was already sort of scared of things, and then COVID happened, I mean, you lost your shit. Bram and Brandy, what's up, guys? Did you like all my hashtags? Isn't that clever? But I personally, I don't believe in COVID. I don't see, like Neil deGrasse Tyson said, and like I've been sort of like I hated Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? And when he said this, I was like super turned off by it. Like, oh, how dare he? That's such an arrogant thing to say. He was on the Joe Rogan show, and Joe asked him what he says when people talk about the flat earth. And he said, look, I don't even talk to those people. I don't debate those people. And it's true. I mean, Neil deGrasse, like, it's one of these things where it's really telling what happens. Like, if the earth is really this round ball flying through space, then people like Neil deGrasse Tyson should be more than happy to have debates with people and prove them wrong. His attitude of, well, I'm not even going to talk about this. Well, why not? What if people what if people believe that? What if people wrongly believe it? You're not going to help them understand what they're getting wrong? It's really a weird thing. It's strange to I mean, it just tells you what you need to hear. Me personally, I know without a doubt, if somebody wants to ask me about what I believe or tells me they disagree with me and they want to have, I'm all for it. I want you to do that. I don't do this because I want people to agree with me. I do this because I want people to disagree with me. Trump 2024, that's like basically raising your hand and being like, I'm really stupid. You're a dumb racist. That's all the Trump stuff is. It's 100% you're dumb racist. And you're not man enough or big enough to just be that dumb racist. I'm racist. You hide behind this Trump 2024 moniker. How is that racist? Because that's what Trump represents. The MAGA hat is the new Confederate flag. I mean, because you're white and you don't necessarily like what that means, that doesn't validate your denial. You're in your feelings. Like, who even says that? I'm in my feelings. Yeah, I'm in my feelings. Yes, I feel a certain way about things. And I think everybody who falls for the election process, any of it, especially the Trump stuff, you're stupid. Scotty says I'm not white. Well, I guess we just have to believe that. And we have to also believe the Jovan. I know lots of Jovans, Derricks, and yeah, you're not white. So what are you? Definitely not a person of color. And if you are, you're even dumber. I mean, that's all you're telling me. You're dumber than that. Like, if you're a person of color, if you're a female and you vote for Trump, you're just an idiot. I don't even know what to say. I don't know how to, I don't even know, like, there's so much against it. And the thing is, I'll always ask people, why is it you support Trump? I'm Puerto Rican and black. Yeah, well, then you're really stupid. You're just an Uncle Tom. Like, you think Trump cares about Puerto Rico? You notice how Trump people always say stupid shit? Like, they just keep repeating Trump, 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 Trump. They don't actually say why they pick the right hand over the left. The whole idea of the election is they're saying, look, we're going to slap you in the face with the right hand or the left hand. Which one do you want? And instead of you going, well, I don't want to be slapped in the face, you go, no, I'm going to pick this one. And you don't even have the reasons, because it's your racism. It's your stupid racism. Just because you're Puerto Rican or black or whatever Uncle Tom coconut you may be, doesn't mean you can't be racism. I'm not for castration of children. I'm not for murdering babies. Then how can you support Trump? What are you even talking about? Trump is the greatest friend Israel and the Israeli people have ever known. And you want to talk about killing children? I'm not for foreign wars, says some. Okay, so I guess these are your arguments. So I guess Kamala is for castrating children. You're probably one of those dumb people who's like, yeah, Kamala wants sex changes for inmates in prison. Transgender inmates. I'm not for foreign wars. Again, you would think all these Trumpsters, like, what do you think the Israel stuff is, you fucking idiot? If you're not for foreign shit, then you shouldn't support Trump. He's all for, wow, what a surprise. You woke up as soon as we left. Oh, I'm so surprised. I can't even believe it. You feeling all right?
Still hurts.
Yeah, what, did you get your flume?
Yeah.
Okay. See, look at how dumb people just keep repeating themselves. They don't actually have any reasonable arguments. So they just keep saying shit. When Trump was in there were no foreign wars. Yeah, Israel was committing genocide long before, like, Trump coming into office strengthened Israel's genocide more than anyone else had. You mad bro. You mad bro. Is that a question? Are you questioning me? Or are you making a statement? Border economy was the reasons. Border and economy. The border and the economy. So you're dumb enough to think that the border's been bad. There were literally no talks of the border or anything prior to Trump starting to run for president. Suddenly, white people are scared of Mexicans again.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
That's for lunch.
Yeah, I don't care. Your argument is your Uncle Tom. You have zero comeback. Zero comeback? What are you talking about? It's all stupid. You're not making arguments to come back on. The economy wasn't so much better. Like, it's so funny how Trumpsters love to talk about the gas prices because you fell for it. You honestly think Trump has something to do with the gas prices? You honestly think Trump is sitting around like balancing the budget? He's at his desk, he's got his calculator, and he's like, okay, if we take this out and we do this here. Trump has nothing to do with any of that stuff. You're just dumb. You fall for an election process that when it was a black guy running, you were probably like, oh, it's all rigged. You're probably stupid enough to think that Trump won 2020, right? The election was a scam and it was rigged. You know what I love about trumpets? They never want to talk about 2016. Trump makes deals with the global economy. See, these are all just nonsense statements. You guys are just saying a bunch of nonsense. Trump makes deals with the world economy, but Biden doesn't.
Trump's hated by the world.
Trump's hated by the world, and he's dumb. Like, this is the part where it's so weird to me. All these trumpets, when you guys saw him debating, what did you see?
Did you think he won? Because he sounded like a babbling idiot.
Right. I
He was insulting because he never answered any of the intellectual questions.
They literally had to ask him 3 times and he still didn't answer. No, but what would you do about the opiate crisis? Well, the border, blah, blah, and he just starts going off. No. What would you do about the opiate crisis? Well, what he did, blah, blah, blah. And the same question that Biden answered the first time. And the thing is, like, again, most of these dumb trumpets think if you don't support Trump, then you must support Biden-Harris. They fall for one side of the argument, so you must do it too. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. Look at this just stupid shit. No deals are different than Biden. Every president affects the gas price. No, they don't. See, again, you honestly think the president of the United States sits around figuring out the gas prices and calling people like, hey, can we get a better deal from you? No? Okay. But that doesn't happen. What do you want? What do you want? This is what I want is for all of us to wise up and not fall for the system anymore. You know, it's all bullshit. Not just Trump, but the Kamala side's bullshit too. You fucking idiots. The real truth is, what do they all agree on? See, you stupid people sort of fall for the disagreement that they show you. You don't bother to look at what they all agree on. And right now, your third party choice is a horrible, dumb Jew. The Kamala choice, she has a dumb Jew vice president and a dumb Jew husband. And then Trump is the greatest friend Israel and the Israeli people have ever known. You're dumb. This is all about Israel. You are the one that's falling for everything. And the worst part is when it's not Trump, you guys see it. You'll call out all the bullshit. Well, you won't actually call out things that Harris has done. You'll say some stupid nonsense that you saw on TV. But you don't actually say anything.
On a Trump commercial.
Right, on a Trump commercial. She wants sex changes for transgender inmates.
She doesn't. All that.
Have you seen the commercial?
Yeah.
The commercial shows Kamala and she goes, well, I think that yes, transgenders inmates should have access, and then the commercial cuts. If she really said access to surgery, reassignment surgery, then they would have shown it. And they would show it every chance they could get. Right. She was talking about healthcare. She was talking about safety. She wasn't talking about getting fucking sex changes, but that's the stupidity people want to fall for. You have your mother feminine spirit. See, here we go. More stupid shit. I can't actually have an intelligent conversation. You love finding endless foreign wars, do you? Yep. Right. Because me saying Trump and the United, like, do you understand that we've given Israel $18 billion? $18 billion since October 7th of last year. And they're a superpower. They don't need any money.
Right.
And everybody else gives them money too. And that $18 billion turns into about 80 billion shekels in their money. But this is just, it's just stupidity. The availability of oil is a global international level.
We have
What is
oil
that?
here.
I don't even know what the fuck this person is saying. My whole family is voting for America first. With your whole family is stupid.
So
Are you
we're
saying
all
your whole
racist,
family is a bunch of stupid racists? Gotcha. What a surprise.
Sexist, and
Right.
hates poor people.
And just stupid. I mean, stupid. Like all these people think that Trump likes them. Trump would hang out with you.
He likes you to wash his dishes.
Right.
He likes you to serve his food.
It's a shame weak males like this exist in the world. The funniest thing is, guys like Scotty Bean would never say that shit to my face. He's the type of guy that gets all big and bad on his internet, but he'd never say anything to my face. You're speaking about yourselves, and I work in a PHSC center. We pay for their surgery. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. We're paying for reassignment surgeries. God, it's so stupid. Like, again, these people are so adamant about not paying for a reassignment surgery, but giving Israel $18 billion to murder people? Totally cool. Totally cool. And then bringing American troops over to die for Israeli causes? Like, that's totally cool. That's totally cool.
Do you think the prisons
Would
have
like,
the staff
I mean, seriously.
to do a reassignment surgery?
Oh, Biden did that. Yeah, Biden made Israel the superpower. God, you're stupid. You're just stupid. I don't even know what to say there. Bro, you like 5'8", 140, 60-year-old. Nope, yep. 5'8" and 140. Yep. You can tell that from looking at my feed. Again, this is what dumbass beta males do. This is what they do. This guy is a follower. Seriously, anybody that like, how come the Trump people aren't more upset about the fake shooting? Why don't you guys care? Why aren't all the Trump people demanding that the tens of thousands of people that were at his rally provide all their fucking cell phone videos of this shooting that supposedly happened?
The guy's dead. They shot him.
They shot him after he was seen and was allowed to do his part. You're at 5'8", yep, 2, yep. Just stupid. I mean, again, look at all, this guy can't even get his Trumps right. But see, if I was a Trump supporter, I would see the points being made by the stupid idiots in the comments, and I would be embarrassed, just like if I saw Trump in the debates. If I was a Trump supporter, Trump would be embarrassing to me. I mean, notice how, this is another thing that the Trump people never talk about. Remember before the last debate, how Trump was saying he wanted 3 debates and Kamala was terrified and all this other shit, and how he was going to crush her and blah, blah, blah. And Kamala kept saying, I only need one. I only need one debate. And then the debate happened, and then Kamala was like, we can do it again if you want to. And then Trump was like, nope, no. No more debates. No more debates. Do you realize this election that's happening in less than 2 weeks, we've had one debate between the two people.
Right.
One debate, and you guys think it's all it's all on the up and up. It's all legit. These are just those things that the Trump supporters don't want to answer for, right?
I mean,
The Trump supporters,
debates should be a spelled out process.
Right.
It should be part of,
absolutely. But again, these are the people that don't want to acknowledge the fact that Trump lost the election in 2016 by 2.7 million votes, and the swamp that he was going to drain is who put him in anyway.
But Russia tampered.
Yeah, but it was Russia tampering with it, even though Team Jorge out of Israel is actually admitted to tampering with 33 elections in the last however many years, with 27 of them being successful. They tell you that Russia interfered with the election, and they can't tell you how, and Trump lost. But hey, Russia interfered. Kamala won't go on Rogan. Yeah, okay. Did Trump go on Rogan? Do you remember seeing Trump on Rogan? No.
Yeah, but isn't Rogan a Trump?
This guy went from talking to COVID, getting all worked up and out of breath, talking about politics. Am I out of breath?
I don't know.
Look at how desperate these stupid people are to try to, like, to try to get something. And when somebody is willing to lie about that, just stupid shit like that, they're willing to lie about anything. That's how you know we're dealing with really, really low level, tiny dick idiot, the guys that are just trying to compensate. So they try to act all big and bad when they're not. It's just stupid.
It's like, in a...
Tell that baller to, baller clasher. Only an idiot would vote for the last 4 years we just went through. Right, because everything is so bad here. Because when you compare the 4 years that we went through, this last 4 years, to the 4 years prior, because COVID is Trump's baby. We don't ever talk about that one either. Notice how I keep making points that none of these idiots address. I address what they say, but they don't address anything I'm saying. And what you'll see, and I've shown you guys this time and time again on my videos.
Oh yeah, your mom's fat.
Right. When people can't argue, when people know they're outmatched and they're losing an argument and they're not big enough to admit it, they start arguing their own narrative. They start to shoot the messenger thing, trying to get other people to be like, oh yeah, well, yeah, it doesn't matter what you're saying, it's that you're crazy, or you're this, or you're that. You don't actually address anything because you can't. What are you going to say about Trump losing the election by 2.7 million votes and then getting put in anyway? It's the third time it happened in modern history. The first 2 times were both times when George Bush Jr. won. And everybody had an issue with that, didn't you? I mean, it's just stupid. And again, these guys keep like sort of insisting that I'm saying I'm a Kamala supporter. You're dumb enough to fall for one side, so I have to be dumb enough to fall for a side. Instead of me saying, they're all stupid. It's all fucking stupid. You're an idiot if you fall for the process. He's going in the Rogan on Friday. Oh, well, he hasn't yet, though, has he? And again, what about the debate part? You want to talk your nonsense, but you don't want to answer for anything that's thrown your way. What about the fact that Trump talked all that shit before the debate and then refused to do another one after he got made to look like a fucking idiot by the little dumb woman?
Yeah, but see, the Trump supporters don't think he lost that debate.
If he didn't lose the debate, then why doesn't he want to do another one? He was all about let's do 3 prior to the debate. If he won, he would have wanted to do more. Pretty simple. You're standing around in your living room coughing and wheezing. Yep. Coughing and see, I appreciate, I read these things because I want, like, these guys are confirming my narrative. When I tell you that they're just going to start arguing and saying dumb nonsense that has nothing to do with what's being said, they start arguing their own bullshit. Here you go. Tell that to the heavyset, wide-body woman. Oh, yeah. Yes. My wife is absolutely heavy-set and wide-bodied. Again, more arguing your own fantasy narrative. Can't actually argue for what I'm saying. And the thing is, you know that what I'm saying is hurting this guy because now he's desperately trying to, like, hurt me back. Oh, maybe if I talk about his wife being fat, that'll hurt him like he's hurting me. Maybe if I say this, like, it's so fucking stupid how childish Trump supporters are. It's just, it's insane. And you can tell by the commercials. You know, the commercials that are meant to appeal to the voters. So the Kamala commercials talk about actual shit. Actual, like platforms and policies and, you know, things that Trump has done in the past and blah, blah, blah. And they try to appeal to a more intellectual side of things. Whereas the Trump supporter side of things, it's all just nonsense.
She wants hate them.
Right. She wants they, them, all the people that, oh, whatever, liberal. You're right. You're right. I'm terrible because I want people to have liberties. But see, again, we're talking about racist, homophobic, sexist, generally white people. I guess there's a couple of coconuts in here. But like it's just insane how unbelievably like stereotypically stupid you guys are. And it's embarrassing. Typical Kamala supporter. And this is a guy that keeps saying stupid things.
Hi, I'm Earth. Have we met?
Right. But I support Trump, so you have to support Kamala. No, I fall for it, so you do too. See? Making his own arguments. You're leaving off benefits you don't even deserve to be talking about this right now. This guy can't even talk. He has to use two words, ABTSRN. He's too lazy to type words, but we should take what he has for seriousness. We let us see you get worked up and yelling in your living room. Yep, I'm in my living room. I'm worked up and yelling. Again, keep proving the point. You can't actually address any of the things that are being said. Just say it. Just be like, dude, I'm not smart enough to address anything you're saying. Well, I guess you basically are, so it doesn't matter. LOL, he won't read my comments because it's truth. What comments is this dude talking about? His last comment was only an idiot would vote for the last 4 years we just went through. Did I read that? Yeah. Trump will stop all the banana boats. Sure he will. Sure he will. Like, this is, I'm so happy. I can't thank you guys more, really.
Well,
thank you for coming on here and providing the example, because it's so much harder to talk about how stupid Trump supporters are when you guys aren't here. So thank you.
Wasn't he supposed to build the wall and have Mexico pay for it? What happened to that?
Mexico can pay for it and like it. Well, okay, so American taxpayers are going to pay for it initially. But then the government is going to add a bunch of tariffs that we don't get that money of. And then when the products come through, the sellers of the products aren't going to eat the cost. They're going to raise the prices. So that the American taxpayers actually pay for it twice. We pay for it on the front, we pay for it with our taxes, and then we pay for it at the grocery stores. That's why the groceries are so much more expensive now. People love to talk about the economy is so bad. It's because of Trump. It's because of the Trump policies. Like, again, it's if you
about this, we built that big ass bridge in 8 months back in the 1800s, but he couldn't build a brick wall in 4 years.
It's not a brick wall, but
What a cement, whatever the fuck he's building it on.
Well, I mean, it's all just stupid.
With
I mean, it
modern
really is
technology.
stupid. They built a lot of the wall. But again, these are the stupid people who think we only need a wall on the south. It's not racist.
No.
It's not racist. We don't need a wall along the north where the white people are. But where the brown people are, we need a wall. Because God damn it, they're coming over here and getting all those great strawberry picking jobs. And those are black people jobs, according to Trump.
Well,
Black and Hispanic jobs. Those illegals coming over, they're taking the jobs away from the blacks and the Hispanics. Because white people don't do those jobs. Look at how quiet the comments have gotten. Because I keep pointing out the fact that they don't actually address any of the points made, and they just keep making my point for me. And they're like, duh, I don't know what to say. It's amazing. It's terrifying. And I've said forever now, Trump isn't scary. Trump is an idiot. You know, a lot of times they shoot him from certain angles, but if you catch him from, like, you know, the unplanned for angles, he's this old, hunched over, fat, orange, just weirdo. And again, I guess we don't want to talk about, all the Trump supporters don't want to talk about the fact that Trump was best buddies with Epstein for many years until he was told, you got to let this guy go because you're going to be president and we don't want this to come back and bite you. So then when Epstein was killed, it was the Trump presidency that covered it up. Just like the Trump presidency gave us COVID. Again, something you guys don't want to talk about. Shouldn't you guys actually be coming up with some excuse like, oh, I don't have time for this. I gotta go to work now. Isn't this when you guys usually run away? He won't read my comments. Yep, because what you say is so fucking interesting. I'm terrified of what you have to say because I'm so out of breath and I'm so worked up. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Average dumb Trump supporter. Most of you are white, but even when you see the person of color, well, at least they claim to be a person of color, that's the Trump supporter you see. That stupidity is just, it's consistent. They don't have any, it's the same, the economy, the borders, because we are so in danger from the Mexicans. Oh yeah, those Mexicans. It's not the white people that are consistently breaking into people's houses. I'm way more scared of white people than I am anyone else. I'm way more worried about the average, tweaked out white guy than I am anyone else. Tweaked out, fucking smacked out white guy. Get the fuck out of here. That's the person that's who has you in more danger than anyone else. Your average white guy tweaker. And those guys are everywhere. Everywhere. This guy says he's... okay, so here, you could tell me. I refuses to read it. The comment before that was, he won't read it. Didn't I read that comment? And didn't I read, he won't read my comments because it's the truth? Didn't I read that one? And didn't I read typical Kamala supporter?
Yes.
Yes. And didn't I read only an idiot would vote for the last 4 years we just went through? Yes. Okay. Just making sure. Thank you for proving the point that you Trump supporters just lie and say stupid shit when you run out of things to say. Thank you again. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. This is just that continuous stupidity. Thank you. Thank you. And these are the people, these are the America First people. They're sending American troops to go die for the Jews. You're so stupid. But see, this is really what it comes down to. Most Christians don't even realize that their religion is Jewish. Everything is about the Jews. Everything is about, that's why we have all the Ukraine bullshit, especially with Kiev. Because in Kiev, that's where most of the Jews live in that area. and it's crazy because you would think with all the venom that these Trump supporters have every time the opponent is a person of color, you would think they would then have that same venom for all of this Israeli Jew shit. But it's what it is. Is he smacked up? Yep, that's what it is. Must be on heroin. See, that's the thing. If I'm on heroin and I'm all smacked up, how come you guys can't do better? Shouldn't I be at a disadvantage because of the heroin? Yet instead, I just keep making you guys look so stupid you've run out of things to say. You're worried because everything you say, I just use it against you. Literally, not a single fucking thing said makes any sense. It's just more and more Trump stupidity, Trump supporter, Trump pansy stupidity. And making up your own narrative, there you go again. Making up the narrative and shooting the messenger. This guy's making too much sense. Hey, let's say he's on heroin, so judgmental people will get, even if I was on heroin, why would that change anything I'm saying? Why would that make anything I've said less true? If I was on heroin, did Trump win the election? Has Trump ever won an election? Nope. But you guys, again, you're just going to keep ignoring that, right? Charlie, good old Charlie, with his fake fucking dumb profile. So many of these are just dumb Israeli bots anyway. These guys aren't real. That's why they're so stupid. Once you run through their pre-programmed responses, they start repeating themselves. They start arguing their own narrative, and they start desperately trying to shoot the messenger. Now, yep, here's another one. You don't know what you're saying. Shoot that messenger. If I don't know what I'm saying, how come you can't make it, any of it sound impossible? What part do I not know what I'm saying? Is that in response to Trump never won an election? Are you trying to say Trump won an election before? What part don't I know what I'm saying? See, if you can type, you don't know what you're saying, then you should be able to not have to type that and just type something that's more intelligent. That makes me go, oh, damn. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Oh, damn, you're making me look bad here. Oh, but that's not how this works. And again, I can't thank you guys enough. I appreciate this kind of Trump bullshit. I appreciate the fact that you guys continuously provide me the example that I need. It's you make this easy. It's easy and it's scary. And really, if I was you guys, the Trump that I thought for sure was going to win, that I thought for sure was going to be put in office. Well, again, because I pay attention to what's actually going on and not just what I'm told to think about. If you remember, McCain was actually ahead of Obama in the polls until about a month and a half before the election, when McCain said he was going to do something that nobody else had ever done, which is tax the Social Security. And immediately, it doesn't matter how racist, how sexist, how anything people are, when these elderly who are on a fixed income, and that's barely enough to get by anyway, you start talking about taking away their survival money, they're going to vote for the other guy. And the elderly vote is the most important vote. That's the people that are actually going to go out and vote more than anybody. Especially when it comes to their Social Security and shit. And that's what happened. McCain essentially gave away the election by saying, I'm going to be the first guy to do this for no fucking reason. There's no reason to. Well, about a month and a half ago, the Trump is going to cut Social Security, tax Social Security. That came out. So are they doing it again? Are they trying to put Kamala in office? I don't know. I know they're trying to manipulate stupid people. When every single Kamala commercial or Trump commercial ends with Kamala can never be our president. Never really heard that before about somebody. But when you think about it, that's encouraging psychos. That's encouraging, if she wins, then we got to, because she can never be our president. It's just all stupid. He won't read it. This guy keeps saying shit like he's said something. His last 5 comments are, he won't read the truth. Provide it. Just thank you. Again, thank you. Thank you for providing the example of the stupidity rather than the truth you keep talking about. See, this is what I know. I know about people. If what I was saying was wrong, people would jump all over it. They would jump all over the things I'm saying. But because you can't deny that Trump was Epstein's best buddy. Him, Trump, Stephanopoulos, and Epstein were known as the Three Musketeers or the Three Amigos in the New York nightlife scene for many, many years. You can't deny that. You can't deny that Trump has taken way gross pictures with his daughter and said really gross things about his daughter. Like all the Trump supporters kept talking about was, pedo Biden, creepy Joe Biden. Remember when he sniffed that girl's hair? He sniffed the girl's hair. That means he's a pedo. Sniffing someone's hair makes you a pedo? How do you know he wasn't like, that girl's hair smells like shit. What'd she roll in? You don't know that. But I know that Biden isn't best friends with Epstein. And then didn't prevent the investigation into the death like the Trump supporters did. I know Biden never said, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd date her. I know Biden never said, is it wrong to be more attracted to your daughter than to your wife? He's off his meds. There we go again. You must be a Jew, John Short. Because Jews are the ones that usually do that nonsense. The shoot the messenger thing over and over again. I can't. So you must be off your meds. That's what it is. If I'm off my meds and I'm making crazy talk, why can't you actually say anything? So again, Trump wasn't best buddies with Epstein. Trump didn't cover up the Epstein death. No? Is that what we're saying? The Trump presidency didn't lock us down and give us COVID. That wasn't the Trump people. Trump didn't say those things about his daughter. Trump doesn't have pictures of his daughter fucking grinding on him and shit. That doesn't exist. Gotcha. I must be off my meds. Think about how stupid these people are. Like the desperation it takes to be like, I have to say something, but I can't actually debunk anything he says. So I'm going to say something like, he's off his meds. Because mental health is funny. When you make jokes about mental health, or he's triggered. So PTSD is a big fucking joke. Ha ha ha. Triggered. Ha ha. Off his meds. Ha ha ha. Oh man, you guys are good at this. If anybody wants to know what your typical Trump supporter is, here you go. Now dumbass who can't even bother to type says cry AB it, because he can't write out about. I think he probably can't spell, so he's worried he's going to get his spelling wrong and make himself look stupid. But yeah, look at me just crying about it. And cry about what? That Trump was best buddies with Epstein? Yeah, that's a big fucking deal, you gross weirdo. What do you support pedophilia now? You gonna say that one too? Bet you're a big church supporter, aren't you? All you big God believers out there supporting that pedo church you love so much. Cry about it. I don't care if little kids are constantly. I don't care if Trump's got weird shit going on with his daughter. I don't care. Cry about it. Seriously, are these guys like 12? Are these middle schoolers just fucking around in homeroom before the day starts or something? Oh yeah? Well, cry about it. That'll get, I know. I'll write, cry about it. That'll get him. I bet he'll end his feed and be like, oh shit, I guess I was wrong about everything I was saying. Cry about it. Thank you again. I didn't even plan on going this route today, but hell, I like to go with the flow, man. And if the Trump supporters show up and want to raise, I'm stupid, look at me. I'm happy to engage. I'm happy to help you with that. Seriously, do you think if Trump read this feed, just like when you watch Trump and Trump is embarrassing, do you think if Trump saw this feed and then read all the fucking comments these guys were making, he'd be like, hell yeah, they did a good job defending me? Like, Trump would be embarrassed if he read that you guys can't even come up with shit. But the economy, the wars, and the border. The economy, the wars, and the border. The wars, the economy, and the border. It's just programmed stupid nonsense. Nobody knew the borders were this huge issue until Trump started talking about it. And then it comes out like, what are you talking about? Everything's like way safer than it was when you were president. Way, way safer. The crimes are way down. But hey, you know, Trump says it's the other way around, so it must be true. Because Trump doesn't lie. Right? Trump doesn't lie. He must be trans with his girly hair. So how do you like your dudes to look, John? Do you like your dudes with short hair? You like your dudes more clean shaven than I am? Yeah? How do you prefer your dudes, John? You like them with big muscles so they can wrap you up and you feel safe? Is that how that works? I mean, obviously you like your dudes to be old fucking orange fat guys with, you want to talk about goofy hair. But hey, whatever floats your boat, dude, I don't discriminate. You like boys, whatever. It's fucking stupid, man. Again, every single thing this John Short guy has said is an example of what I'm talking about. Not a single point being made, just more, you're hurting my feelings, so I'm going to keep trying to hurt yours. If somebody calls me girly, I get really hurt by it, so you're going to get hurt by it too. You're trans with your hair, you girly hair. Did that hurt your feelings? Because that would have hurt my feelings. Fucking stupid. Dude, just come out. Tell us how you prefer your dudes. Nobody will judge you. If anything, we might try to hook you up with somebody you like. This shit is comedy. It is. It's hilarious to look at how stupid you guys are. Not a single point made. Go back and read the comments. Not a single reasonable point made. And it's scary because these people are allowed to vote. Like, if voting actually mattered, voting doesn't matter. See, that's the thing. While you're distracted by, should I pick Trump or Kamala? I'm going, voting doesn't matter, you fucking idiots. Notice how not one of these dumbasses has addressed the fact that Trump lost the 2016 election. Why won't you guys address that? 2.7 million votes is a lot of fucking votes, man. 2.7 more Americans voted for Hillary, and Hillary won. Yet instead of doing what Trump does when he loses, Hillary was just like, all right, see you later. And nobody, you still think it's all reasonable. It's not all just one big shit show play, huh? Why didn't Hillary demand anything? Why did she just walk away? She could have been the first female president in history, gone down forever. In the annals of history, she would have always been number one, the first one. And I guess technically, she will be the first woman to ever win the fucking election. You pick immigrants over your own people. I don't even know what this guy's saying anymore. But I know my family, just like your family, are immigrants. Like it's so stupid. But see, again, I'm not stupid enough to fall for like, oh, the invisible borders that are put on us, those are real. Oh, the Constitution. Oh, the forefathers. All that bullshit. You're just stupid. Yes, if somebody, like the arrogance it takes to be that type of person, because your parents had sex here, your grandparents had sex here, whatever it is, before the immigrants.
Yeah.
Whoever it is prior to your immigrant relatives coming here that had sex here, that somehow gives you more rights than, say, the Palestinians. You deserve your rights because you're clearly super smart. Like this is just more of that typical racist entitlement. Like it's just crazy. It's crazy. But this is how they need this. That's why the Trump administration, like you can't ask a Trump supporter, well, what are some of the policies Trump's running on? What are some of the platforms Trump's running on?
I don't know.
They don't know.
He's gonna help the middle class.
Right. That's Trump. Giving all those tax breaks to the billionaires.
He's gonna lower our groceries.
He's going to call up Israel and be like, all right, Israel, stop the genocide. And Israel will be like, okay, Mr. Trump.
I really haven't heard any policy.
Not a single policy. Nothing. But it's because Trump supporters don't need that. Trump supporters can be
Yes.
She's an immigrant. She's an immigrant. You prefer immigrant. That's Trump supporters. Their whole fucking thing is racism.
He is going to ban abortion.
Oh, right.
100%.
Ban abortion.
But he's not going to do that 100%. He's going to leave it up to the states. That's what he says. But his plans are to ban it.
Right. And then everybody that has an issue with that, you guys all have at least one adopted child, right? At least.
Or you're caring for a family who lost their mom due to one of those pregnancies, and they're now motherless. You're caring for one of those families.
This guy says, we know immigrants, we pure blood. Yeah, there's that inbreeding coming through again. Literally, I make those jokes and I talk like that, and then you're going to do it like seriously.
Do you live on a reservation?
He's pure blood white guy, I guess.
Okay, well, that means you're an immigrant.
No. They're not immigrants.
Yeah, you are.
No, he's Native American.
100%?
So stupid. God, people are so stupid. What most people don't even realize is, like, the person you think your grandfather is probably isn't your grandfather. You know, when you look at the Maury Poviches of today and you see just how many people are fucking... Oops. So what I was saying is, you probably don't, like, the person you think is your grandfather probably isn't your grandfather. And the Maury Poviches and all that, they show you exactly that. You know, the 40s, 50s, 60s free love time, when everybody used to be driving around in king-size beds on wheels, and they would go to make-out point. You think they were making out at make-out point? And at the same time, VD clinics spring up everywhere because people are making out? No. Your grandparents were fucking like crazy. And a lot of you, your grandfather is not your real grandfather. But, hey, you know. I love how this dumb John Short guy keeps coming in and he just refuses to address that Trump lost the 2016 election. Trump should have never, ever been president. He's never won an election. Why won't you address that if you're so smart? What is something you believe if we shouldn't believe who my grandpa was that I've met? Oh, well, because you've met him, that means you have DNA testing available through your hands, I guess. Like you. Yeah, like me. Nothing you say has any real substance. This shit is crazy. Right. Trump losing the election and then being put in by the swamp, no substance there. Trump being president for COVID, no substance there. Trump being best buddies with Epstein, no substance there. Like, again, more shoot the messenger. Won't address a single thing I'm saying. Keeps arguing their own narrative and then trying that shoot the messenger shit. Just keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. Yep, toothbrush now. Yep, keep shooting that messenger because I don't brush my teeth. My teeth are bad. Yep, that's what it is. Oh, wait, do I got some resin? No resin. No. 45-year-old man with all his teeth that none of them are falling out. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. That's the problem here. Stupid John Short can't address anything being said, so he just keeps desperately trying to hurt me back. I'm hurting his feelings, pointing out how stupid he is, and he's basically a pedophile supporter. All of you guys, you Trump supporters are pedophile supporters. You're okay with Epstein. You're okay with Trump and Epstein. You're okay with Trump and his daughter. You're okay with all of this shit. Yep, never mind all of it, though. Kids in cages. Never mind the kids in cages. Of the kids in cages, 500 of which their parents can't be found. It's such a big deal that SVU made a fucking episode about it and made an episode not about the people being the problem, that the government's the problem. And did you know that 86% of the kids that are lost or part of like human trafficking come from CPS and shit like that? 86%. But hey, we should keep giving Israel money. Giving Israel $18 billion since last October to fund those foreign wars. But that's okay. Biden did that. That was all Biden. Trump had nothing to do with that. Even though Trump's the one that signed the legislation that made the Golan Heights part of Israel somehow. Somehow the U.S. president signing legislation makes Syria not Syria anymore. And now it belongs to Israel. What does CPS or Israel have to do with that? Right. You're stupid, dude. I'm not going to even try to explain it to you. You don't understand what's going on here? You don't understand that it's all like the government is behind all of that. And that's the shit you're being distracted from. While you're stupidly falling for Orange Man, they're murdering people. Innocent people. But hey, you don't care about them. They're brown. They're far away. That's not, it doesn't involve me. When a large portion of your government officials have dual Israeli citizenship, and that's like the only country that you're allowed to be a dual citizen of and then still be part of our government, God, there's no conspiracy there.
Well, how about this? The kids coming up that are in middle school or high school right now are much more open and accepting. So just because you might be a racist fuck,
Racist, homophobic, sexist.
your daughter or granddaughter or niece, one of them is gonna, or nephew, one of them is gonna bring home an interracial,
Not in my house.
individual, or they're gonna bring home, same sex, something.
My kid starts talking about he's gay. I'm gonna give him a football, slap him in the face, and tell him go outside.
I mean, but the point is, at that point, will you suddenly be sensitive to those people's rights? Will you suddenly feel like you need to protect them too because now they're part of your fold and you've accepted them and love them?
Piece of shit John says it's because they're weak they're being killed. No, it's because the cowardly Israelis are dropping bombs on them. They don't have anything but sticks and rocks. And the cowardly Israelis are dropping U.S.-made bombs on them from U.S.-made planes while spending U.S.-made money, while U.S. tax dollars.
The other thing is, okay, so my stepfather grew up extremely racist.
Again, Scotty Bean keeps proving my point. He's stupid and a sexist, racist dumbass. Can't say anything else. If my kid's gay, I'm turning into you and giving up on life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you just make sense. Like, you guys realize, this guy thought that was a good thing to say. He's not even like speaking it out and then said something before he thought about it. He thought about it, typed it, and thought, oh, that's going to be a good one, and then hit enter.
Is it because your scrotum created that being and now you deem them to be flawed and you're embarrassed that you created something that's so flawed?
I think most people, like, I think a lot, especially these white guys, these insecure white guys, these guys...
I didn't make that. I would make a straight person.
These guys can't handle the fact that gay people seem more comfortable than they are. In their mind, gay people should live in the shadows and in the closet and stuff and be embarrassed. But they're not. They're proud of themselves. They're open. They're tolerant. They accept you. And you're sitting there going, but wait, I'm white. I'm straight. Why do I hate myself so much? They should hate themselves. So I think a lot of those guys, I think a lot of them are gay and they're just not cool with it. But I think a lot of them, even more of them, are just jealous of the fact that gay people can be so, open and cool.
My stepdad was, like I said, very racist, closed-minded, made fun of gay people. Like, he was your Trump man, all growing up into adulthood. And, he married a woman that had 2 kids. And, even though we're 100% Greek and we're immigrants, he could look past it because our skin was white enough, you know. So we passed the family test.
And she gave him
Kind
pussy.
of.
She gave him pussy.
But then he had a daughter that married a mixed man and had children with him. So now, when you talk to him, he is more aware of rights for minorities. He doesn't use the N word anymore. Like, he has changed his line of thinking. Well, then he has another daughter, and she ends up being a lesbian. And now all of a sudden, he's had to cut out all the queer jokes that he used to make with his hands and.
But see, but he was
you know,
he was trained to make those jokes.
exactly, and he was trained to think along those lines.
Right.
Now he thinks about gay people's rights. He think like you can have conversations with him about it. He has come full circle, and that's what you need to look at and think about.
Look at all the
You
bigots.
can't control what comes into your family.
Look at all the bigots in the comments that were so quiet when I kept asking them about Trump, other than the occasional, stupid thing to prove my point. Now, because we're talking about gays, they all have something to say now.
Again, you can't control what any part of your family members end up bringing into your world. And you're either going to make life miserable for you, them, and the whole family, or you're going to wake the fuck up, get the stick out of your ass,
But these are stupid
and
people.
realize we're all human.
These are stupid people. Most of these are just dumb bots anyway. They're not even like real people. But these are stupid people.
It's just an ignorant mentality.
No, it's not. It's
come out
not
of.
just an ignorant mentality. These are stupid people. These are people that can't actually make reasonable arguments about anything and just keep like that John Smoltz guy admits he likes dudes but won't actually admit it. I like dudes with shorter hair and clean faced. This other Scotty guy, I guess me being 60, if I was younger, you like your dudes younger? If I was a younger man, then he might be able to address something being said. Like, this is...
Doesn't older mean wiser and more experienced and educated? Why would you want to argue with a less educated, less experienced person?
Well, because they're all over my feed. They're providing the example.
No,
So
I'm
that's
saying,
why
would they want
that's why I'm doing it. But, these guys are doing it A, because it's their job, or B, because they're just stupid. It's just stupid.
just want to argue? I don't
They're miserable. Their lives are misery. They sit in their little world. They don't have anybody with them. And they just sit there looking to pick fights on random feeds where they're not even prepared for it. They're just stupid. Can you imagine how miserable you would have to be able to go into a feed that you can't actually argue anything and yet you keep trying to? You would have to be like, it's the kid that gets in trouble at school and acts out all the time because he doesn't get love at home. And the only way he knows how to get attention is through negative attention. But because we're humans and we're designed for that interaction, not designed, we like that interaction. You want attention, you want something, you're just not smart enough to be able to handle like reasonable shit. So you say things and you get in your little Trump group where everybody's like, man, I hate this, and I hate that too. It ain't like me, so I hate it. Like all these dumbasses that swear they hate gay kids, gay people, but yet they love watching chicks fool around. It just says everything. You only hate gays when it's dudes. We love controlling tools like you, LOL. Very easy to see you getting worked up over words. I'm getting worked up over words. That's why I'm on somebody else's feed continuously talking stupid shit. Like, you need me to be worked up so you can at least say you're doing something? Is that what that is? Because let me think. Well, my pulse is normal. I don't remember being all worked up, but this is what it is, man. And like I say, you guys don't bother me. I appreciate you guys being here. This would be a lot more difficult if you guys weren't here. You guys provide such a fantastic example of the absolute stupidity it takes to be a Trump supporter. And I just can't manufacture that. right? Like I can't do that justice just talking about it. I need you guys to provide such great examples. So as I say that, they go, Trump 2020. Like, they're like, yeah, I do that. Yeah, it's me. Yeah. You're like the people that like cheer when the celebrity says the town that you're from. Yay, I'm from that place. You're so stupid. Again, not one of these fucking idiots will address the fact that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes, and then the swamp put him in anyway. How many times do you think I've said that now? 10? 15 times maybe? Gosh, it's funny how you guys can't seem to address that. Why won't you address that? Trump 2024, you mean like Trump 2016? When he lost? So stupid. So what does Israel have to do with it? Well, Israel is the swamp that put him in anyway. You guys all good, dumbass, God-fearing Christians? Good old Christians? Cutting baby dicks because you're told to? Because you got to acknowledge yourself or identify yourself as Jew property? What do you mean? That's not what circumcision is. Right, because you've looked it up. Because you know the history of circumcision, I bet. These guys are fucking dumb, man. This is your average dumbass Trump supporter. This is why I don't block them. I don't run away from they just... I mean, this is what people need to understand. This is the thing we're up against. We as a reasonable, intelligent society, we have to figure out how do we reach these stupid people? How do you break through such an incredible fog of stupidity? You know, it's amazing, and I don't know, it just never gets old to me. But it's at the same time, it's terrifying. It's just fucking terrifying. You know? God, guns, and Trump. Boop, boop, boop. Remember God's Guns and Trump shirt, girl? Oh, so stupid. So stupid. You guys remember when Trump lost the election in 2016 by 2.7 million votes and the swamp put him in anyway? You guys gonna address that? Come on, all you smarty pantses. Address it. Tell me how that's not real. Tell me how the Trump presidency didn't cover up the Epstein death. Didn't refuse to do an in-depth investigation. While having a physical therapy shirt on. Yep, it's a physical therapy place. You know there's a difference there, right? When people get hurt, like mental therapists don't usually give out t-shirts. You stupid ass.
That's a funny point.
God, what an idiot.
What did he accuse you of going?
Well, having a therapy shirt on. That's his comment. God, you just it's like we're on a team and we're just you're the point guard setting up the alley-oop and I'm just slam jamming all over your own fucking head. Alley-oop? Well, if you had a different haircut and you weren't so old, then I might like you.
It's not even like you. Then I might listen to what you have to say and give, you know,
be able to respond
to you.
Right. In a reasonable way. But you have on a therapy. See, again, got to try to shoot that messenger because he can't address the fact that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes in 2016.
Yeah, if you discredit where the information is coming from,
exactly,
the information must not be true.
Exactly. That's the shoot the messenger tactic. That's how you know Israel controls our society. Because that's That's like the bread and butter of their argument. They tell you you're not allowed to talk about it. Then if you keep doing it, they try to make you, oh yeah, well you're anti-Semitic. When really, I'm super duper proud of my anti-Semitism because I know what those words mean. You can't use those words on me because I'm not some stupid ass Trump supporter. I'm proud of my anti-Jewish supremacy because that's what Semitism is. Jewish supremacy. A belief or predisposition to show Jews favor. Favor is supremacy. It's just they're not going to put supremacy because that would be too obvious. Come on, guys. Trump lost the election in 2016 by 2.7 million votes. How embarrassing is it that I keep saying it and you keep refusing to address it? This is literally like Trump absolutely represents his constituency, right? Because Trump does the exact same thing. You know, all these little Trumps running around that don't actually know anything and they're really dumb. Because according to of the 46 members of Trump's cabinet that were involved in the 2016 presidency, of the 46, 40 of them refused to endorse Trump, including his vice president.
I mean, and look at all the people that Kamala has put on commercials that have all said, I did vote for Trump last time and absolutely.
I mean, those are just actors.
Maybe.
That's all. No, that's all just actor bullshit. But at the end of the day, the individuals don't matter. When I'm talking about his administration.
That's the best.
46 out of the 46.
Vice president.
Right.
His vice president.
40 of the 46 people in his previous administration not just not voted for him, refused to be a part of this administration, of this candidacy. They wouldn't support Trump for the nomination. 40 out of the 46.
And Pence won't even. Pence is. I'm not even voting for him. He's a piece of shit.
It's crazy how stupid you guys are. And again, I guess you're not going to acknowledge this because this is one of those facts. These are those facts you guys hate so much. You know, like how Trump lost the election in 2016 by 2.7 million votes, and the swamp that he said he was going to drain put him in anyway. You know that point you guys keep ignoring? Why do you guys keep ignoring that point? Where's your Trump support? Why don't you come explain why I'm wrong about that so I don't keep making you and your boy look stupid? This is where you guys, start peeling off, right? Because what are you going to say? What can you possibly say? It's like Israelis trying to justify what's going on. You don't hear any Israelis actually justifying it. You know, once they play their biblical card, if you go, yeah, I don't believe in that shit, that's not real. They literally have nothing to say. They immediately jump to, now you're anti-Semitic. And if you hear that term anti-Semitic, you should be offended by it. Because Semitic refers to all of the people of that region. Palestinians, Syrians, Lebanese, even black people, even the Egyptians and shit like that. Those are Semitic people. Anti-Semitic is a racist term. Anti-Semitism is something you should be fucking proud of. It's that Semitism that controls our world. Right now, last year too, prior to the summer where the break, there was the break, but it's happening now, it's just not getting talked about as much. But the next generation of kids, the college students, the children of the richest, most powerful people in the world, the people that can afford to send their kids to Harvard and Yale and all that other shit, Columbia, those kids are protesting against Israel. And you have dumb Jews like Rappaport, like John Lovitz, like Jerry Seinfeld, that are making it about Judaism. They're telling you the truth. If you don't support the Israeli genocide, then you don't support Judaism. So with them saying it, we should say it too then. We should embrace that. And any of you think that you have to support Judaism, again, it just shows how stupid you are. Why would you have to support any other crazy cult? Why would you support anything? Why would you have to? You don't have to support Islam. You don't even have to support Christianity. Do you know that, like, if you're a business owner, you own a big enough business in multiple places throughout this country, you're allowed to protest against the United States here in the United States? You're allowed to protest against your government? You're not allowed to protest against Israel? Why, again, all of you stupid ass Trump Kamala supporters, either side, why do you think we support Israel so much? While you're being distracted by another election, because, the greatest corporation in the world right now, the United States of America, every 4 years, they change who the CEO is. And they let the employees pick it. Like all successful companies out there. That's how Ford works. That's how Facebook works. It's how Microsoft works, right? Every 4 years, the person that's in charge, the CEO that's in charge, basically takes a year off of his job to go around and try to convince the employees to vote him into the office again, to vote him as president, CEO again. And then, if he does happen to win a second term, doesn't matter how good a job he's doing, he can't do it anymore. Do you remember when all of you idiots made a huge deal about Joe Biden's age winning the presidency? Yet, if Trump were to win, he would be the oldest man ever elected to presidency. But that it doesn't matter when it's your dumbass Trump. Again, look at how quiet the commenters have gotten. They don't seem to want to address the fact that Trump lost the election in 2016 by 2.7 million votes and was still put in office anyway by the swamp he said he was going to drain. Isn't that interesting? How come you guys are so stupid you can't answer for that? Why are all of you, we need to stop being involved in foreign policy, people, okay with the $3.8 billion we give Israel every year? Or the $18 billion we've given them since October 7th? And if you think Trump's going to stop that, apparently you're not paying attention, because Trump says he would do more. We have the two largest aircraft carriers in our naval fleet are stationed over in Israel right now. How much money do you think that costs the taxpayers every day just to run those things? Oh well, again, more things like the 2016 election where Trump lost by 2.7 million votes and the swamp put him in anyway. More shit you don't want to address, right? Because I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't make any sense. The problem with these Trump supporters is most of them actually watch, conspiracy theory shit. They watch dumbass white dudes with beards and bald heads talk shit about Kamala and how, they watch these YouTube channels. They don't actually read the news. They don't actually know what's going on, what these people are doing. You ask these idiots about normalization deals. What do you think about normalization deals? They're going to be like, what? What's a normalization deal? Just like if you ask them about Trump's policies, they got nothing. And if I was a Trump supporter and I wasn't one of the idiots that keeps talking and I was just watching, I would be embarrassed by my constituency. I would be embarrassed by the people that I supposedly feel the same way as, not being able to actually address anything, like the fact Trump lost the 2016 election by 2.7 million votes and the swamp put him in anyway. I mean, I appreciate it. The best this doofus could come up with is that I have on a therapy shirt. A physical therapy. See what it says right there? Because he apparently could read this word.
Orthopedics, sports medicine.
Physical therapy specialist. Orthopedics, sports medicine. Because he can read.
And then show your wrist.
But see, that's the thing is the Trump supporters. He only, out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words that sort of tell the whole story, the Trump supporter picks one. Just like, Kamala saying that the transgenders should have access, and then the thing cutting. She doesn't say access to sex changes. But these idiots do. Now watch. These idiots are going to jump up and say something because I'm talking about the sex changes thing, because that's what they're stupid, but they're not going to address the fact that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes and was put in office anyway by that swamp. Is that where you get your meds from? Look, somebody finally spoke up and can't help but prove the point.
You ever heard of a physical therapist being able to prescribe meds?
Psych meds?
Any meds.
Right, but psych meds especially.
You need to have a doctorate or a pharmacist. You
But
can't
these
even prescribe as a pharmacist. You can only dispense.
Right.
You have to have a doctorate.
These guys are stupid. And they can't help but prove it. Seriously, I keep pointing out the fact that they can't say anything but do the shoot the messenger stuff and refuse to acknowledge the Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes. So this guy's hearing me say all these things, and he goes, I'm going to get him. I'll get him. I'm going to say things like, that's where you get your meds? Because he's too stupid to even understand that you can't get meds from a physical therapy location. A place that has a bunch of like exercise equipment and shit. Yeah, they don't prescribe meds there. Like again, this is the same guy who it's like, it's not therapy. And there's nothing wrong with therapy. If you get therapy, good. If you're brave enough to get therapy, good for you. I hope it works. I think therapy is a scam in a lot of ways. But still, like if that's what you need to do, this guy says, you would know. WUDNO. You would know. I would know that a physical therapist cannot dispense meds. Yeah. Because I'm not some dumbass Trump supporter that refuses to acknowledge the fact that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes.
That if the word therapist is your job title, you can't prescribe meds. Not even like a mental therapist. Only if you are a psychiatrist.
A psychiatrist, doctor, right.
A doctor.
Right.
Now, my chiropractor, who is also a doctor, cannot prescribe meds.
You know that, because like this guy's saying that knowing facts is like he's trying to make that sound like it's a bad thing.
Asking him to prescribe me meds or some shit. That's how I found out. No, I'm just not an idiot.
Right. I'm not stupid. I'm not some stupid Trump supporter.
It's common knowledge.
Apparently not
Google
amongst
it.
these idiots.
You can Google it.
Not amongst these idiots. And again, thank you. Thank you. I'm sure after the fact you'll go and erase a bunch of your comments or something like that. Because you don't want people realizing like you're this stupid if they happen to come across this feed. Yeah. You must be stupid because you know a physical therapist can't prescribe meds. Because you're stupid. So great. It's so great. Like I couldn't even. Can you imagine if I could pay people to be this stupid? All right, guys, I'm gonna go live. and then you come in here and you play the idiot Trump supporter. Do you think anybody would be dumb enough to think that a physical therapist can prescribe meds?
Oh my
Or
God,
to say
could you
that?
imagine, like, we had an opioid crisis because doctors were giving it out like it was fucking candy to everybody. Anyways, could you imagine if the physical therapist had that power too? Holy fuck.
Actually, I think there would be
Everybody would
no,
like
I think it
drugs.
would be a lot less. Physical therapists spend a lot of time with you. Doctors see you for like, 5 minutes maybe, and then they prescribe you these overpowering super drugs. A physical therapist is going to be the one that actually knows, like, hey, you actually need X amount, and when they see you the next week, they're going to be able to know if the meds are negatively affecting you or not. You're not going to be able to hide it. Doctors, it's a joke. You're a number to a doctor. He's trying to turn over as many numbers as he can each day so he can get paid the most amount of money possible, while also prescribing the most amount of drugs that give him the best kickbacks. The fact that kickbacks are legal, like, how is that legal? Payola's not illegal. You can't give a DJ money to play your records, but drug companies can give doctors bonuses for prescribing their drugs.
A realtor can't throw somebody that referred them a big client $50. They're not allowed to. You can't pay for your referrals. But these offices can.
You're
doctors-
stupid because you know those things.
I was a realtor, so yes, I would
You're
know that.
stupid. Knowing things makes you stupid. Unless Trump tells you it's not true.
But how about this? The physical therapist, the insurance limits how much time you get with this physical therapist.
Oh, great. Now I got to shave. Yeah,
Of course you do.
I can't rock that.
That's
Not
what
with
I
the
think.
not what the Jew guy wears. No, sir. That'll be
He's
gone
trying to
today.
be a white supremacist.
Oh.
He's undercover.
Does anybody think a little skinny Jew guy would be able to go into a white supremacist group and like be
You
like,
could say he's German and pass for German.
oh, he couldn't?
Fuck yeah, he could.
Not with his fucking features.
Germans typically have big noses.
But it's the little eyes all close together that give it away.
Russian German.
There's
He
way
can
more
pass for it.
there's way more identifiable Jewish features than we give credit to. But those are ethnic Jews, and that's the only kind of Jews there are. Oh man, it's crazy how like the way that things typically work, right? Or at least the way we've been told to work. That my wife says it. If everybody's saying it, then it must be you, right? And so when I'm like, look, I'm the only person I know talking about these things. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just crazy because I do know things. Because I bother to look things up and I don't look for the conspiracy explanation. I look at the things they want us to know, like the fact Trump lost the election in 2016 by 2.7 million votes, and then the swamp put him in office anyway. You thought I forgot, didn't you? Like, I seriously try to tell myself that I'm just crazy, I'm not understanding something, I'm missing it, whatever it may be, and that I need to, try to make some changes here. But then, like, I read something, and within, like, 2 minutes, within the first couple sentences, you already know, well, what about this part? Well, what about this? This doesn't make much sense. What about it? Why is it this way? Most of you think the Dead Sea Scrolls are this Christian thing. They validate and justify Christianity. And yet you don't understand that it's all Jewish. Most of you don't realize that according to the narrative, the Dead Sea Scrolls that happened to be found the year before Israel was officially established, that then say, that are supposedly dated to around 70 BC, because everybody say, like, well, not everybody. Smarter people will say nobody ever talked about Jesus until 60, 70 years after his death. And that's based on the Dead Sea Scrolls. Prior to that, the oldest text that we had, supposedly, that talked about Jesus was from the 900s, 900 AD. So for 900 years, nobody was writing down, no scriptures, none of that shit existed. The earliest known scriptures we had were for 900 years after the event. That happens. That's how that works. And if you say, oh, well, it's because it was all oral. Well, I'm supposed to believe that it's even a little bit accurate after 900 years of telephone? Like you people are so stupid, and it's all by design, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying that people say, you know, I believe in this. This is my foundation. I will fight for this. I will die for this. I will go to war for this. And you start asking them questions and they have no idea. You don't even know about what your thing is, and yet you're still going to talk about it? You're still going to die for it, and you don't even know why? You know nothing about Jesus and all that shit other than like a very cursory now. Oh, I read the Bible. When? Yeah, when I was like 11. I read that shit. Well, I was forced to read it. And I read it as quickly as I could, just trying to get through it because I hadn't yet accepted it. And it was still didn't make any sense to me. So I, as a child, I could see through it and I hated it. You know, like how a child could see that Trump lost the election in 2016 by 2.7 million votes and the swamp put him in anyway? You know that thing you keep ignoring? So basically this feed, what it has proven more than anything is that Trump supporters hate facts. And when presented with a fact that they can't, you know, just easily sort of lie about or you know, make up some dumb shit to account for, they get quiet and run away. How funny is that? As soon as I started repeating the fact that Trump lost the 2016 election by 2.7 million votes, and the swamp that he said he was going to drain put him in anyway, as soon as I started saying that, these guys got all quiet, and then a bunch of them ran away. What does that tell you about your average dumb-ass Trump supporter? That's terrifying. If you if you believe that voting matters, if you believe in the illusion you're given, that should terrify you. It should terrify you to think people that stupid have the exact same amount of power that you do when it comes to deciding how the next 4 years are going to be run. That's terrifying. Again, just like the Christians that claim to believe something but don't know why, don't know how. The Trump supporters are the exact same thing. They don't know. You ask a Trump supporter, why do you support Trump? Once they give their like three, then, well, it is because of the borders. It is because of the economy. And what's the other one? Borders, economy.
Gas prices?
No. Borders, the economy. I don't even remember. It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. You get through and you go like that. It's just, and the foreign wars. Sorry, foreign wars. Yeah, that was it. Borders, the economy, and foreign wars. Once you sort of address those points, they literally run away, tail between their legs. If you guys are paying attention, understand, you just saw, I don't know how many, 4 or 5 Trump supporters get their asses whipped. They got their asses whipped on fucking live feed, and they know it. And they just cowered and went away. I can't answer for why Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes, and the swamp that he said he was going to drain put him in anyway. I don't like that thing. Why do you keep saying that one? Why do you keep bringing up that COVID and the whole lockdown came under Trump's watch? Dude, come on. You're supposed to forget that. You're supposed to forget that Trump was best buddies with Epstein and then covered up his death. Refused to do the investigation. Come on. I do. I don't want a woman of color to be president, so I'm going to come up with any other dumb thing I can think of. So fucking stupid, man. So stupid. But again, I couldn't have done this without them. I couldn't prove the point like I do without them, because I don't even prove the point. They do. It's the strangest thing. Like, the only thing it really reminds me of is Christians. And go figure, most trumpets are Christians. That intense, like overwhelming, all-encompassing stupidity that it takes to be a Christian. It's the same exact stupidity that it takes to be a Trump supporter. You have to be able to ignore common sense, facts, the world you live in, and you have to have faith in a fake ass character that you would never like be able to have a beer with or anything like that. Like Trump can't relate. When Trump says his dad gave him a small $1 million loan, how many of you have ever gotten a small $1 million loan? It's just crazy. It's crazy. 40 out of the 40, another one of these facts that the Trump supporters don't like. 40 of the 46 people in his previous administration refused, not just like, they're not like, we just don't want to do it this time. They're opposing Trump. 40 of the 46 government officials. And the thing is, like, the rumors are always that he's just an idiot. He doesn't read the stuff that's given to him. He doesn't pay attention during briefings. He's really stupid. That's what they all said. He's really stupid. Nobody talks about him being this brilliant businessman or any. Everybody that's involved with Trump or was involved with Trump talks about how, like, embarrassingly stupid he is. And then he gets into these debates and he proves it. I keep asking the Trump supporters, what part of the debate were you like, yeah, that's why I support this man? And again, notice how like they won't address it. He wanted 3 debates. Kamala just said, she didn't say I refuse to do more. She just said all I'm going to need is 1. Confident. All I need is 1. This guy's an idiot. You'll see. So then they do it, and Trump comes out with all this fucking gusto like he's a big badass. And like within the first exchange, this guy has gone down to this guy. He already realizes he's outmatched after the first exchange. And then just gets roasted. Roasted. He gets roasted so badly that afterwards, he doesn't want to do the 2 other debates he was insisting Kamala didn't wanted, while Kamala is saying, yeah, I'll do them, let's do it. I didn't think he would want to because he got fucking roasted. But if that pussy's willing to do it, I'm willing to do it. And Trump refused. And now we are a week and a half away from Election Day, and you guys have seen 2 debates. 2 debates, and it was Trump and 2 different people. You didn't even get to see them go at it twice. You got to see Trump go against Geriatric Joe, who kicked his ass. He just stumbled and stammered through shit. So they kept focusing on how old he was, because he stumbled and stammered. The 80-something-year-old man at 9:30 at night wasn't sharp as a tack. Yet he still was answering questions and making points. Like, and if anything, he was dealing with Trump. You could see his frustration. He would just rub his head and be like, is this guy fucking... He'd start laughing. Is this guy serious? What is he even talking about? I know, watching the debate, every time Trump would start talking, I'd sort of look at my wife and be like, what the fuck is he even saying? What is the point that he's even trying to make? And yet it's just the same. Again, his supporters are like carbon copies, other than being rich. His supporters are just these dumb, poor people who, or maybe they're not poor, but they're like a decision or two away from being poor. A lot of them are poor dumb whites. But these dumb people who just, they're like, again, they you ask them questions and they respond the same way Trump responds. A bunch of just dumb nonsense. And they'll argue their own narratives, and they insist that you must be a Kamala supporter, and, well, I was a Biden supporter, and now I must be a Kamala supporter. Like, all this shit, and you're literally going, dude, I think it's all bullshit. I hate Creepy Joe, and I fucking hate Trump. Like, what? I can't believe you fall for it. You're given two choices, and you pick one, and you think you have a choice.
Oh, come on, three choices.
Right, yeah, Jill Stein, that third-party candidate.
That independent person.
Other than Ross Perot.
Nominated that person. Did we get a choice in nominating a third-party candidate?
Do we even get a choice in nominating the two-party candidates?
Well, those they can say trickles down.
Right.
You know,
our representatives. Right. Those people that represent us.
But we don't
and have our best interest in mind.
Party representatives at all. We don't even know who those people are. So who are those people nominating the independent party candidate? I've always wondered that. We know we can follow the trickle down.
Go ahead and try to run for president. See how well that works.
Yeah.
See if you get.
Well, I'll go try.
Yeah. See if you can get enough followers to be nominated for an independent situation. It's all just it's all shit show.
We don't even know who those powers that be are.
Right.
They're not transparent.
It's not like there's the Democratic National Convention, the Republican National Convention, and then the independent.
But not the independents like that.
Just stupid.
So this guy.
Do you like Marx? Yeah, I'm a Jew supporter. Come on.
This guy posts in this reminds me of, like, these are a lot of Trump supporters.
Of course.
Okay. So it's in the Detroit group. So dad walks into the room. That's his son.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Let me guess. He's a little bitty white guy.
No, he's Asian. Whatever.
Oh.
Okay, so they post that. Almost every single comment is beat his ass. Almost every single one. He broke his dad's heart, soul, and spirit and will to live when he saw that. I would spank my son for some shit like this. Buzz cut first thing in the morning. That's your public schools, Dad. You got to get him the hell out of there. That's who's teaching him that. I mean, over and over and over and over and over.
Because, you can be taught to be gay.
So my response was, for all of those saying they beat his ass, why? What's that going to accomplish? What if your son is gay? Are you willing to betray his trust and respect in you, permanently destroying your relationship with your own child? That's ignorant. Perhaps you shouldn't be breeding to begin with.
Exactly.
I'm about to be attacked.
Of course. But
That's
so
the mentality. Those people all vote for Trump.
so I was talking to my kid this morning, and I was telling him, look, you actually got a pretty good situation going. That your best friend happens to be the most popular girl in school, and she's gay. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe. Normally you wouldn't have competition, but you don't have to be in competition. The girls that would like her wouldn't like you anyway. So,
Right.
and then I said, well, unless of course you're gay, you know, and you got a gay best friend because you're gay, and if you're gay, man, that's okay with me. And he goes, I just can't imagine putting a penis in my mouth. And I started laughing, and I was like, well, there you go. There's your sign.
That's how you know.
Right. If you don't go, oh, I just hate those people. You go, let me put myself in that position, and then it's probably, you know, like for me, I agree with him. I think it's fucking disgusting to put a penis in my mouth. If
But
you want to
have
do
no
it,
problem with somebody else enjoying it.
yeah, you can do it all day. I don't care. That's great. I encourage you to do it more often. I don't have an issue with that.
But if it's your son and you walk in and he's, you know, sexy girl dancing to himself to some music with behind closed doors,
I'm going to
you're
laugh
gonna
at
go
him.
beat his ass?
I'm going to laugh and be like, I caught you.
There was one lady, only one lady that said, and there was, you know, 80 some comments. One lady that said, I would put that lipstick on because he saw Dad at the end, and he wiped his lipstick off, and he stood there real still, frozen, terrified. She said, I'd go put that lipstick on and dance with him.
He was
one person.
He was scared and frozen because his dad hits him already.
Dad's gonna beat his ass because he's, you know, it doesn't even mean he's gay. He could have just been trying to dance like a girl, see how funny it is, you know, or doing it for a talent show because he and his boys were doing a skit. Who knows? It could have been a multitude of reasons. But to go beat his ass, that's a Trump supporter.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's terrifying.
Terrifying, because there's so many, and the idiots that think that's what happens when you send them to public school.
But see,
okay, now
but we have a society that thinks it's okay to hit children.
we have
Hit your child, hit them.
a middle school
with a weapon.
Livonia right now that parents, again probably Trump supporters, it is Livonia, are fighting Riley Middle School to have litter boxes put in the bathrooms for the children that identify as cats.
Are they going to come clean it up?
Nope, the kids are going to clean up after themselves, is what these parents are saying. This is a real thing going on right now. The parents are trying to push Riley Middle School to have litter boxes. Those are Trump supporters.
What? No, Trump supporters aren't doing that.
Letting their kids do whatever the fuck they want.
No, Trump supporters aren't at all going to accept the furry mentality. No, you're in the wrong there. Those are
that self-entitled ignorance that people should bend for them.
I think it's I don't think anybody's bending. I don't think putting litter boxes in the bathroom is anybody being compromised.
Yes, it is.
How?
That's very unsanitary, disgusting.
I mean,
and we're talking about middle school kids. You mean to tell me those other kids aren't going to fuck with that litter all the time? Come on.
The fact that shit happens, like, I think we're absolutely talking about mental disorder there.
Exactly. And
like that's but that's different than gay. That's different than trans. We're not talking about the same thing here. When you start talking about you're an animal, well, animals don't go to school.
Right.
So why would we even have, you know, like it's, again, I'm not saying I support the litter boxes. I'm just saying it's not hurting anybody having those litter boxes.
It absolutely could. It's unsanitary.
It's unsanitary compared to the fucking little boy's bathroom at any middle school. I mean, come on, you're talking about a fucking petri dish from hell anyway. That shit's gonna be gross anyway. But it's that idea of you know, if you want to be an animal, then you don't get to come inside. Like, you don't get to.
If you're a cat, you do.
I mean, if you're a cat, I guess you do, but you know.
A fox, no.
Depends on what cat you are. Are you a house cat? Is that what you're saying? Or are you a tiger? But even still, like, as soon as you start identifying in that way, well, I don't have a relationship with you. You're an animal. My animals are cool and all, but they're not on any equal footing. Their opinions aren't even known, let alone decide anything.
I don't know. Broly gets his way a lot.
But that's because you're a goofy pet owner. You know, but that's a different thing. I mean, we're talking about something that their brain is this big, and you know, you have to make a lot of decisions for them. At the same time, I could let my dog go and he'd be fine. He'd live out in the wild just fine until his dumbass ran in front of a car. But he'd be able to survive. He'd find his own food and stuff like that.
Cats don't get to go to prom.
No.
Cats don't get driver's licenses.
No.
Like, you don't get any of those things.
Cats don't get educated. Cats don't go to school.
Hurt, a lot of times, if it's a serious injury,
cats don't get toilet paper.
they get put down.
Cats lick their own butts. Right. So when you start licking your own butt, I'll start calling you a cat. Until then, let's address this mental challenge that's going on. What is going on in this kid's home life that is causing them to go down this path? Either they're getting abused, or they're getting abused by being allowed to do whatever they fucking want.
And how is this like so rampant?
It's more of a rebellion kind of thing, you know. It's the same thing as like. So when dumbass Trump supporters go, we're blaming the schools for that, blah 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 blah. Well, the reality is, when you talk about gays with first, second, third, kindergarten, whatever, up until about 5th grade or so, 4th, 5th grade, when you say gay, they don't immediately go, oh, penises and mouths and butts. They don't think like that. When you say a gay guy is a guy who doesn't like girls, lots of kids go, well, shit, I don't like girls. Girls are horrible. I must be gay then. Because they don't think about sexuality like you trying to, like it's all those people that freak out about that shit. They're the ones making it about sexuality. We have to protect our kids from blah, 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 blah. If they protect your kids, maybe you should explain to your kids a little bit more. You know, it's stupid kid mentality. Kids think they're dinosaurs. Kids think they're fucking Superman. Kids literally believe in magic. Kids think cartoons are real. You know, kids are stupid. It's okay. I'd much rather have my kid figure that shit out at a younger age than be some adult and like struggling with all this other bullshit. Let's see. Talking about Trump for over an hour. What a feminine puppet. Yet you're watching me for over an hour and continuously commenting stupidity. So if I'm see, the thing is, somebody called this guy a feminine puppet at some point, and it hurt his feelings. And he was like, I'm not a feminine puppet. Oh,
I'm going to use that, though.
And then he was like, wow, that really affected me. So I'm going to call other people that. Let's see, I'm going to put that right next to Snowflake. Yeah. Right, Snowflake? Yep, I'm a snowflake. I'm falling from the sky, and if it's warm enough, I'm going to melt. Like, it's so stupid. But this is...
Snowflake denote that you're super white?
I don't know. I
thought
that's what I thought it was, but it's got changed into some sort of...
Or like a weak...
Right, that's what it means now. It's like you're some sort of weakling or something. But it's just stupid. It's because it's something that someone says when they can't actually say anything else. So then they start going into the bag of ridiculous. Oh, well, you're a feminine puppet. Haha. Yeah. Look at me. Look how feminine I am. Gotta love this feminine face, huh? Like, just so stupid. I
can record how many times he farts throughout the day. It's real feminine.
scratches my balls, you know, goes to the bathroom and
Bends
doesn't
over,
wash my
shows hairy
hands.
butt crack. Totally feminine.
I don't wash my hands when I go to the bathroom. You know why? Because my dick's not all gross and I don't piss all over myself. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with people? Like, if I'm a shit and wipe my ass, then yeah, okay, I'll wash my hands. But if I'm just taking a piss, yeah, I don't care. You guys are fucking weird.
Girls have to.
You're wiping. You're getting all in there. People are fucking stupid. But again, this is that feminine puppet snowflake kind of guy. Like, thank you again, average Trump supporter, for showing how stupid you fucking idiots are. So
you're
I stopped.
Super macho homophobe.
I stopped mentioning that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes. And guess who started speaking up again? Still not going to address the fact that Trump lost the election, though, right?
Trumpanzee.
Dumb Trumpanzee. Just shitting in his own hands and throwing it everywhere. That's all they do. Picking bugs out of each other's fucking fur and eating it.
Oh, I got Big Burger to start calling them the Trumpanzees because every time I go there, I'd say something to them, you know, and they get to know you after, you know, whatever. And so now that they use it. They've adopted it.
You put that woman in her place. Proud of you. No, I'm not woke as anything. If anything, I'm awake. I'm not woke because that's not a thing. That's, again, why do you think the terminology for people that see things for what they are has been compromised? Why do you think the term that people refer to themselves as is one of stupidity? How do you think it got that far? How did we go from awake to woke?
A misuse of the English language. You're trying to sound smart, but you're doing it by misusing the English language.
Right.
That's not an oxymoron.
I'm smarter than everybody, but I use a made-up word.
Well, the word woke is not made up.
Well, in that context.
Grossly misusing it.
Yeah. Like it's like you could say that guy woke up and now he is awake. But I would never say
television.
That guy woke up and now he's woke. Cats have rights, you bigots. Yep, sure they do. Again, thank you. Thank you. I can't actually make an intelligent argument about what you're saying, so I'm going to say something stupid. Thank you.
So, from an intellectual perspective, there is a huge biological difference between a human and a feline. Like, there's no biological difference between a gay man and a straight man, but there is a big biological difference between a feline and a human. They're not the same.
It's not even, that's dumb.
And a human
but see,
cannot give birth to a feline.
You're then getting drugged back into some shit that's what you're supposed to do. Instead of us talking about Trump losing the election by 7 million votes and was being put back in by the swamp, instead of us talking about Israel murdering people left and right, we're sitting here trying to debate whether people that identify as cats should have, like, that's fucking stupid.
Litter boxes in their schools.
Talk about dumbass distractions. Magic is real. Yep, see, here we go. Stupid people. Yeah, he knew he was gay. We knew gay was effed in second grade. No, you didn't. See, this thing where you think you know what it's like to have, like, you don't have kids. I love when people that don't have kids talk about having kids. Or you want to pretend like you remember the mentality of a second grader. It's impossible. You can't. You can't forget everything you knew or you've learned since second grade and put yourself back in that second grade position.
Our kids don't remember most of second grade. And they're a lot closer to second grade than we are.
Yeah, but the point being that second grade, they know what gay is. No, they don't. They don't know what getting fucked is. They don't. That's why child rape is so much worse than anything else. And it's hard to say that, but at least in an adult situation, the adult sort of knows what's going on. They have a reference point for this. The child has no idea what the fuck you're doing. Why are you that's where the P comes out. That's all that thing is for. Why would you be doing anything different with it? You know, like it's fucking stupid. And you know, this Trump supporter keep talking about the kids and won't address the fact that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes and was put in office anyway by the swamp he said he was going to drain. He sure does have a lot to say now. Yeah, oh yeah. Forgot how smart you are. You can't even get words right. Because you got that 153 IQ with your fake profile. Fucking stupid. We had porno mags in class in second grade. You had porno magazines in your second grade class. D, what weird fucking shit did you do? Porn magazines in class in second grade. Yeah. Yeah. See, Trump supporters and people, they're just stupid, man. They're just stupid. They just say stupid things. And especially when we're talking about like kindergartners and stuff, like, because what you see all the time is these dumbass Trump supporters. That guy in a dress, that drag person read a book to some kids in kindergarten. That's gonna make them gay now. If that's the case, why don't we just have doctors read books to kids in school so then they all become doctors? Well, a doctor read a book, so that must mean. If your kid finds gay stuff interesting or entertaining, they're probably gay. I have two little boys. At no point did you know, putting them in a dress, doing a fashion show, or none of that would have ever worked. These are little boys who would find sticks and hit them with shit, hit stuff with it. If you put them in a room full of toys and it was a bunch of Barbies in one truck, they're going to find the truck and run the Barbies over. That's just what they would have done. They were dumb little boys. If you think people can be turned gay, then I'm sorry for you. Because you probably deal with some gay shit. That, you know, well, you don't deal with it, but you have some gay shit going on that you don't deal with. Because real straight people, no, like I know there's no camp, there's no situation, there's no amount of programming, there's no TV shows. I couldn't watch a whole bunch of gay porn and then suddenly I'm like, oh, look, I'm gay now. Like, there's nothing you can do to make me think gay would work for me. There's nothing you can do that would make me think, I wonder if I could do a good blowjob. That would be. Like, I know if you like blowjobs where somebody gags and cries all the time, I'm your guy. But, you know, it's not like I don't think there's anything. I don't think I could be in prison long enough to they be like, you know what? I think I'm going to like this guy now. There's no choice there. And if there's a choice to you, then you must be choosing not to act on whatever stuff you got going on. You know, these are just stupid people. Look at stupid Scotty. He won't address the fact that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes. Trump never lost any never won any elections. Trump was best buddies with Epstein. Trump covered up the Epstein death. Trump gave us COVID. You know, all these things. He doesn't want to address those things. He wants to say stupid shit. Gay isn't about love, it's about nut. Yeah, you must have 153 IQ. God, you're stupid. God, you're stupid. Because it's not like there are plenty of gay couples out there that have been together for a long time and stay together until they die and love each other. No, it's just about, if it was just about a nut, why wouldn't they sleep with chicks? You're stupid. You're stupid. What are you dressing up for Halloween? I'm dressing up as a Trump supporter who refuses to acknowledge the fact that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes. And then the swamp that he said he was going to drain put him in anyway. Can I borrow something that looks just like your dumbass? Because they failed with, I mean, again, I don't even, with, oh, bitches. Yeah. So people that fail getting girls go, oh, you know what? I could put a dick. See, this is a guy who has gay shit in his head, and he just doesn't deal with it. If you think being gay is just because you run out of options or because girls don't pay attention to you, so you can just flip a switch and put a dick in your mouth, that's you. Yeah, you have a lot more gay stuff going on than you realize. But just like Scotty, who refuses to admit that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes, and then the swamp that he said he was going to drain put him back in, or put him in anyway, you won't acknowledge these things about yourself. I'm a football player. 153 IQ. You're so good at it. You don't, you're alone. Lone loser who trolls people's YouTube page because you're so happy and successful in your straight male Christian life. Fucking stupid, man. No, because if it's cold enough outside, you could be like, oh, I could put a dick in my mouth. Those guys got a little too cold. It was too cold outside, so they thought, oh, well, hey, it's super cold. Why don't we take off our clothes and huddle together naked? And then they just had sex, because that's what gay guys are. So now this weirdo is obsessed with candy and kids. Go figure. There's your Trump supporter. Your guy refusing to acknowledge the fact that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes and was put in by the swamp that he said he was going to drain. And you know, the guy that was best buddies with Epstein, the child trafficker, and then covered up his death. Gee, go figure, the Trump supporter is all about that too. Look at how this guy, so this is what I keep talking about. Instead of acknowledging what he's here for to begin with, because this is one of the dumbasses that came in and was like, Trump, 2020 war. That's why he was here from the beginning. This guy has been now watching me for over an hour, almost 2 hours. And he's still, instead of acknowledging, like having the intelligent conversation, and debunking what I'm saying about Trump losing the election by 2.7 million votes and the swamp putting him in anyway, he's going to type multiple shit about kids and trick-or-treating and candy, and that's pretty fucking weird. That's pretty telling. The guy that wants to find fault in every little thing I'm saying and doing refuses to acknowledge a few things about his guy or debunk or whatever, but he sure does have a lot to say about kids, about nothing. Strange how that works. Strange. See, this is why these idiots usually don't talk, because everything they do just proves the point. See, again, not saying I believe all this, but you see how the Trump or the Kamala commercials are presented. And when you compare it to the Trump commercials, Kamala wants sex changes for transgender inmates. It shows you the difference. It shows you who they're trying to appeal to. They are appealing to the lowest common denominator. This guy's too stupid to answer any reasonable questions about why he supports the guy that the swamp put in even after he lost by 2.7 million votes. He refuses to address why he supports Epstein's best buddy, why he supports the guy that covered up Epstein's death, why he supports the guy that gave us COVID.
Can we turn it on?
You know, he refuses to acknowledge any of these things and yet keeps talking about this. For what does that do? To me, that just says everything. And I appreciate it, right? I really do appreciate it, because this is what your average trumpet is. Your average Trumpanzee. Shitting in their own hands and throwing it. Hoping it sticks to something.
24 is medical emergency.
Like, again, can you imagine if like, let's say we were having a debate, right? And I was the other, he was the Trump supporter and I was the other side. And I was like, hey, let me ask you these questions. I'm asking you directly. What do you think about Trump losing the election by 2.7 million votes and the swamp putting him in anyway? What do you think about his association with Epstein? What do you think about COVID? What do you think about all these things? And this guy's talking about fucking, on the other side, the other person that I'm debating against is like, well, Halloween candy, I like little kids and I like candy. And can you imagine how embarrassing that would be? Like, that's fucking amazing. That is amazing. That says everything. Thank you, dumb Trump supporter. Keep going, man. Keep proving that point. He all he wants is attention. He knows he can't get good attention. No one loves him. He doesn't have like a spouse or kids or anybody like that. He can't get girls. So just like that kid in school that gets in trouble so they can get attention, just any sort of attention, this guy just wants attention. He'll say and do anything to get attention, whether it's good or bad. And because he's not capable of getting good attention, he's just content with bad attention. It's actually really sad. A lot of times I feel bad. Like, I feel like I'm picking on the special kid. They make it so easy and they're so scatterbrained and stupid that it almost makes me want, like, is this kid, is there something wrong here? Am I being a dick to somebody with special needs who just was allowed to use a computer for the afternoon? Like, I seriously worry about that. I'm not just talking shit. These are the thoughts that go through my head, because I can't imagine being that other side. I can't imagine somebody is saying, you know, making points and I'm supposed to be the other side of the argument, and all I talk about is Halloween candy. Like, after I came, like, nobody invited this douchebag. You know, this guy came in here to be the Trump representation, and then when he started failing, he just started going like crazy. Like, isn't that weird? You imagine trying to talk to somebody and they're like, you're trying to talk to them and they just keep talking about Halloween candy and shit? That's somebody that not only knows they lost, but had like a bit of a psychotic break over it. And that's the typical Trump stupidity. Again, man, I couldn't script this to be a better feed. I couldn't script this to be better examples of exactly what I keep talking about. This is what you get. This is your Trump supporter. This is your Israel supporter. This is your typical Christian, believes in God, and, you know. Thank you. You know, and really, it's like I keep saying, these are just Israeli bots. And one of the dead giveaways is the stupidity. The Israelis, the Jews are stupid people. They aren't smart. They've tricked you into thinking they're smart because they're the doctors and they're the this and that. They're in the high positions. But that's because of the conspiracy. It's not because they're so much smarter than us. They don't control Hollywood and the government and all that shit because they're smarter than us. It's because they're more ruthless than we are. They look at us the way that we look at cows. And how do we look at cows? We eat them. Well, you eat them. You wear them. You crush their bones up for different products. Like, the cow is even though your Bible tells you to be a vegetarian, you eat the dead fucking animal meat and shit. Like, it's just fucking gross. But that's what you do to the life forms that you deem to be beneath you. Cows, pigs, chickens, whatever. They're beneath you, so they're here for your service. Whatever you need them to do. If you need them to pull the plow, they pull the plow. You know, if you need them to if you want to eat the magical stuff that comes from their shit, you'll do that. You know, if you want to eat their bodies, you'll eat their bodies. You want to wear their skin as a jacket or a belt or pants or something, shoes. Fuck yeah, make me some of those expensive skin shoes. And that's how you see these lower life form, these goyim to you. Well, that's what goyim means to the Jews. And according to their Talmudic beliefs, you know, everything that isn't Jewish is goyim. There's no distinction between me, the bed, the cow, the fish, the stoplight, the tree, whatever. It's all goyim. And goyim is there to service the Jews. We are to do the work, and they are to receive the benefits. So when you think they look at us like we look at cows, is it really that surprising that they could do this kind of shit? That they would create these fake bots that would come through here and pretend to be this and pretend, like, if you don't know, look up Team Jorge. I highly suggest you look up Team Jorge. You probably have to put Team Jorge Israel. But it's this expose. Well, Team Jorge is this team, this black ops Israeli team that worked out of an unmarked building. There was no way of you had to know somebody to know somebody. But this is a highly, highly funded black ops operation, just one of many in Israel, that uses social media to influence elections. Well, they made it so much more grandiose. They only focused on the election part, but the reality is they're all over social media. They have as many as 40,000 social media bots able to infiltrate any sort of page, any sort of whatever that they want to. And they also have a technology that flags anything they want. So they can put it in there and they can say anybody that's talking about Israel, anybody that has pro-Palestinian ties, anything like that, they're immediately notified. And, what was his name? Barbink. Barbink used to be the head of the Israeli cybersecurity apparatus. And he was interviewed by Al Jazeera just before. The guy that did the Al Jazeera story had 700 million followers on Facebook. He did the story, and the next day his Facebook account was eliminated. And he didn't even put it out on Facebook or anything. His account was just eliminated. But he interviewed the former head of the Israeli cybersecurity apparatus, who said that they have their systems all set up to be able to find people talking about Israel or whatever they want. They could have the parameters set to whatever they want. When they get the notification of the material, whatever it may be, he said they contact Facebook, which I don't even know how anybody contacts Facebook, but they do. And that Facebook, quote, usually complies with the request to either take down or shadow ban or whatever it is that they wanted to do. Now, if you think they can just do that with Facebook, you're fucking stupid. They don't provide us social media for free. so that, you know, without any interference, they can't interfere, they can't do anything. The black budget world is not too interesting in what is happening in civilian culture. Yeah, because you're not very smart then, I guess. I don't really know how you say that. Our culture is social media driven at this point. So if they control social media, especially control any sort of dissent, like, you know, this is the same story they've always told us. That the kings and queens would you know, outlaw anybody speaking out against the kings and queens, and they would reward the people to tell on each other. If you hear your neighbor say anything bad about the king and queen and you tell on them, you get a substantial reward. And people would do that all the time, according to the narrative we're given. Not saying I believe it, but it's just more reinforcement of the narrative. And that's what they do now. You know, they provide us this platform where we go on and we tell them everything about ourselves. Big Brother's wettest dream, having cameras in everybody's houses. The reality is a lot of people already have cameras in all of their houses, which they can tap into at any point through the Pegasus software that was provided by Israel. And of course, Israel has a back door through whatever Pegasus software they sell, so they have access to all of it. There's also Project Nimbus, which is a multi-billion-dollar contract that Amazon and Google have with the Israeli military. Why would Amazon and Google have contracts with the Israeli military? Okay, the applied science we use in the black budget world is hundreds of years ahead of any technology publicly available. Of course it is. A great example of that is stealth technology. They had stealth technology as early as the 30s, maybe the 40s, kind of provable the 50s, and yet they didn't introduce it to the public until 1989. So that's 50 years later. You have to think, just on that one thing alone, we were 50 years behind what they had. So what do you think they have that is 50 years, 100 years ahead of us now? Don't you think that we're close to invisible technology? Don't you think we're close to shrinking technology? Don't you think if we don't already have it, we don't know. At least we have somebody other than a typical Trump stupid ass on here who's having a literal mental breakdown because he can't actually debunk anything I say. So he keeps talking about fucking Halloween and candy and shit. Oh my God, I couldn't script this any better. Oh look, the typical Trump. So again, are we going to not acknowledge the fact that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes and the swamp put him in anyway? Stupid John is back again to show that he's still stupid. We're not going to address the fact that Trump was best buddies with Epstein and then covered up his death and any investigation into it. We're not going to address the fact that Trump gave us COVID, locked everything down, took away all our freedoms. Nope. We're not going to acknowledge any of that. We don't like that stuff, do we? Let what sink in? Typical fucking Trumpers, man. Why did Trump lose the election? I'm asking John Short directly. Why did Trump lose the election by 2.7 million votes and the swamp that he was going to drain put him in anyway? I'm asking Scotty Bean that same question directly. Why did Trump lose the election by 2.7 million votes and the swamp that he was going to drain put him in anyway? You guys seem to have so much to say. Why won't you address that? Why did the Trump people And you know what? We don't even have to talk about the Epstein thing yet. Just address the fact that he lost the election. Are we going to go quiet again? Because you guys know you can't say shit. Ask direct questions. These idiots can't fucking say shit. What can they say? What could they say? Like what? Literally, there's nothing they could even say that would make sense. And they know it. That's why they say what they do say. Stupid knows it's stupid. Stupid doesn't like it, but stupid knows it's stupid. That's why it always gets mad. That's why it thinks I'm getting mad, because that's what it would do. I'm getting mad at what you're saying, so you must be getting mad. 2.7 million votes. Lost. 2.7 million votes. Put in anyway. Come on, dummies. You got people watching you. There's going to be more people that see this after the fact. They're going to be wondering why you're not answering the question. You're so confident. You're so intelligent. One doofus claims to have 153 IQ. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. And really, I'm embarrassed because it's like, man, can't the fucking system send me better trolls? Can't you send better trolls? I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do know my comments are being censored. Why would your comments be being censored unless if nobody's watching my feed and censoring my feed to begin with? Makes sense, doesn't it? Like, this is a common sense feed, right? Astonishing how our words are more patrolled than our southern border. Right? I'd love to see any of you try to get through the southern border. You guys are so stupid. Every time they want to distract you, they key in on your racism. Right? Because if they started bringing up, like, let's stop all the fentanyl coming in through the north, people would be like, we don't want to talk about that. But as soon as they start threatening hey, brown people are coming here, they're going to take your strawberry picking jobs. I know all of you are up for a lettuce promotion, but those guys are going to come in and take those jobs. And if you wouldn't lock your doors, I lock my doors because I'm scared of white people. But okay. You guys understand how stupid you are? You had no idea there was anything wrong with the border until dumbass Trump had nothing else to say. See, it's one of those things where it's fantasy. You don't experience it. You have no idea. So when Trump says it, you just go, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm already a little bit racist, so I'm cool with agreeing with this." But you don't know. And it's just like everything else. Trump just deals in fantasy and fear porn. You know, they're counting on you being a fucking bigot coward. And, you know, like, so many of you fall for the, like I remember when Trump was first in office and these same stupid Trump supporters talking about, yeah, the Obama people were down in South America telling people to come up. That's why we had all those people walking up here. Really? All those South Americans that, what, swam across the Panama Canal? Do you know how stupid you have to be? Oh yeah, these people walked 1,000 miles in a week. They walked it. Every time they're shown, they have clear fucking clean clothes on and shit. They're not, you know, they're not dirty. Their faces aren't dirty.
I climbed the wall, went to Mexico, and then went and swam across the Panama Canal. I had to walk a long way.
As someone with immense wealth, I can offer you a rare glimpse into the mindset of the ultra-rich and why Trump is so despised. Like, again, why would anyone believe you have immense wealth? If you have immense wealth and you're not doing everything you can to put that money into supporting people who are against Israel, you're a fool. You're a selfish fool. You should be supporting, funding people who are speaking out against Israel. Because Israel is the real bad guy in all of the trans shit, even the pedophile church stuff. These are all distractions. It's all to distract you from what's going on with the Israeli genocide of the Palestinians, and then the moving on to the Lebanese. They keep picking all these wars that then the Americas, the American government's like, we have Israel's back. So Israel goes and picks a war, and then we're gonna go fight for them. Like it's just the power of the distraction is so incredible. It's amazing how goddamn stupid we are. You guys will sit here and talk bad about Muslims. You'll even talk bad about Christians. As soon as I start talking about Jews, you're like, no, dude, you can't say that. Don't say that. Why do you, again, one of the oldest adages in the world is, the people that you're not allowed to talk about are who you should talk about. You tell me another group of people that we're not allowed to talk about. You have been tricked, sir, by what? What part's the trick? See, instead of telling me that I've been tricked, tell me how I've been tricked, you fucking idiot. God, I just, it's so irritating how stupid this is. You should take in some asylum seekers, otherwise you're BSing. I should take in some asylum seekers. Right, because we just don't have enough fucking room, and there's all those white people out there clamoring for the strawberry picking jobs where they make less than minimum wage. The stupidity that these people bring to the table is just over fucking whelming. Overwhelming. The Statue of Liberty says, give me your poor, your meek, your blah, blah, blah. That's, even though she's got a chain on her leg. like this arrogance, white people in this country who act like this is their country, and that the South American, Native Americans aren't allowed here. It's overwhelmingly stupid. It's just overwhelmingly stupid. Well, John Short, who was asked a direct question, he has to keep shooting that messenger. I just have to be on heroin. Notice how I keep nodding out? If I'm on heroin, how come you can't come up with anything more intelligent to say? What does that say about you? You can't even best the junkie all smacked out. Jesus, people are stupid. You know what's funny? The junkies I've met in my life, and I've met a few, none of them really smoked weed. They didn't like it. They didn't waste their money on weed. But you know, because you can't address why Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes. And then the swamp put him in anyway. Remember that point? I directly asked you a direct question, and you're such a coward that you refuse to answer it? Think about it. Why are you such a stupid coward? Doesn't that bother you that you're that stupid and that cowardly? Anyway, it's people like that are just, I've done enough. I've given them enough attention. You guys understand that at this point, it's more of just a waste of time to, giving them. They're probably like the kind that want you to step on their junk and shit. He's probably jerking off. Every time I insult him, he's probably jerking off to it and shit. There's no way anybody wants to get ripped up so bad unless they're a fake Israeli bot. or they're someone in that category where they're just kind of gross. But the stupidity usually leads me to Israeli, because I just can't stress it enough. The Israelis are stupid. Have you guys noticed, all you macho men out there? Have you noticed there's this huge trend of Israeli soldiers going through the underwear drawers of the people they're murdering, and like putting it on and taking pictures with, like, it's a big thing. The Israeli men are obsessed with the Palestinian female underwear. It's these are the Israelis are the ones that say, if the UN opens up the books on Israel and looks into whether it's still a temporary occupation or a full-on or a colonization, the dumbass Israelis are the ones that say, you can't do that. If you open up the books on Israel, that will demonize Israel. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think if you open up the books on me, it's not going to demonize me. I'm okay with you guys knowing my history and who I am and what I've done. I don't think it makes me look like a bad person. Yet the Jews are so stupid that they tell the truth. If you look at the history of Israel, it's going to make Israel look really fucking disgusting. It's so fucking stupid, man. They are so stupid. The only reason they're in charge like they are is because they look at us like we look at animals. Because they're willing to kill us. They're willing to wear our fucking skin suits if that's what they want to do. They're the ones that the whole Holocaust bullshit, it's all bullshit. Both world wars were about the Jews. They were about Israel. The First World War was about establishing the British mandate, Palestine, about putting the Brits in charge of the Palestinians, so that for the next 30 years, the Palestinians became completely reliant on the Brits as far as military and protection and all that shit goes. There was no Palestinian army, Palestinian military. It was the Brits. So that when they pulled their bullshit Holocaust narrative in World War II, and then instead of Germany having to pay the price, like, it's the stupidest shit, right? Why would the Palestinians lose their land because the Germans did the Holocaust? Where does that math work? But that was what they used as their sympathy, as their, this is our reasoning as World War II. And then May 15th, 1948, the Israeli military, which, how do you have a military when you don't have a country? When you don't exist? Where are all these Israelis that were involved in the military, the training, all the uniforms, all the everything that created this Israeli military? Where were they? There was no Israel. It was actually the United States and the Brits that, once the Brits pulled out, just, in May, the final Brits pulled out May 17th or May 14th, 1948. And the next day, the full-on invasion happened. It's because they didn't go anywhere. The same people that were protecting those people the day before were now coming after them. A 35-year-old mummified dog has been discovered, believed to be the pet of Pharaoh Amenhotep II, who reigned from 1427 to 1401 BC, minus 1427 to minus 1401 BC. Oops. The dog was buried with its necklace, a bowl of water, and a bottle of perfume. Mummified dogs. Yep.
And it's in perfect condition. Its flesh isn't really.
It's
Amazing.
over 3,000 years old. And yet,
Sure it is.
hey, what happened to all the billions of people that have lived in the Americas since the white man invaded? Billions and billions of people. What happened to them? All those dead bodies. Huh? We don't know. We don't know what happened to all the bodies in all the different wars that supposedly happened and supposedly killed. All those, we don't know. Or we get the Gettysburg story that 30,000 people died. And so they were buried in shallow 1-foot graves that a year later, somebody came through and dug them all back up and took them over to Arlington. Can you imagine how nasty all the dead bodies were a year later after being in the ground? Can you imagine the undertaking, pun intended, it would take to bury 30,000 dead bodies a foot deep, only for them to be dug back up a year later and then transported by 1876 mode of transportation? What was being used then? It's also stupid. Guy, research Atlantis. Research with what? With the information I'm given? Do you ever care who publishes the things you read? Like, there's a reason why I read the official narrative when I'm reading about history and things like that, because I want to know the bullshit they want me to know, and then I like to see if it makes sense by just common sense standards. When it comes to Atlantis, we literally only know what they want us to know. So if you want to know the truth about Atlantis, then you need to unify with your fellow Goyim and overthrow the Jews that control the narrative, starting with this Israeli bullshit.
Why do you think I have an answer to call?
It's all Atlantis is a distraction. Atlantis is a fantastic distraction.
I don't want to talk to you.
You know, it's a fantastic distraction because it's more than likely true. And the true things are the best distractions. The pedophile church is absolutely true. And it's a fantastic distraction because until we overthrow the Jews that control the narrative that allows these churches to exist and do what they do, 2018, the Pennsylvania diocese found that 6 out of the 8 regions were full of pedophile stories.
Do you understand me?
Tons and tons of examples of somebody being caught and then shipped over to some other place across the country and no word of why or any of the pedophile stuff following them. People would be in Pennsylvania, they'd fuck some child, then they'd get sent somewhere else. They wouldn't get disbanded, they wouldn't be stripped, they wouldn't get arrested. They'd get sent to go do it somewhere else. 6 out of 8. It wasn't 8 out of 8 because 2 of those dioceses were the fucking Amish who somehow live by their own set of rules and we don't get to fucking, those don't get access. But that should have had a snowball effect where it just went across the country and all the different dioceses were exposed. Instead, they talked about it for a little bit and then 2019 rolled around and they were like, hey, Michael Jackson, he's dead, but hey guys, Michael Jackson fleeing Neverland. Don't forget to get your measles shot. Just like how nobody talks about the World Military Games that were held in Wuhan, China in August. It was August or September. The same day that Event 200 was held in the United States, the World Games were held in, I think it's September. But the World Military Games were held in Wuhan, China, just before COVID hit, and nobody talks about it. Wasting time on Atlantis is kind of like wasting time on Tartaria. Fascinating, more than likely true, but until we overthrow the Jews that control our narrative, we can't really know anything, can we? Event 201, yeah, that was it. Happened the exact same day as the World Military Games kicking off in Wuhan, China. Shortly after, Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes and was put in office anyway. By the swamp he said he was going to drain. Event 201 was this huge conference where they talked about what if something like COVID happened and how would they lock down the country and what would be the protocols and all that. And they found that our country was woefully inept and all this bullshit. It's all right there in front of you. There's no conspiracy theory needed. You don't need to be chasing down some Illuminati bullshit or some, new world order or any of the other things you're supposed to follow that they make movies about, National Treasure movies about. That's all fantasy bullshit. That's all there to distract you. The whole reptilian thing, right? You could literally, that made sense to me. Because again, I look at like who can push a button, who can give the order, like your buddy Trump, to launch 49 missiles into a civilian area. Who can do that and sleep at night? And the justification, the thing that made sense to me was, well, if they were reptilians who look down on us like we look at cows and shit, then them killing a bunch of us in that regard wouldn't really matter, now would it? But the thing is, every single reptilian argument you can make, if you just say it's the Jews, it's the same thing. And it's real. Instead of it being fake, it's real. Pretty crazy. He's had the same can of pop for hours. What can of pop?
It's water in a cup, you moron.
And why would that matter? Why would but the idea that, again, that the dumb Trump supporter, instead of answering the direct question of why Trump lost the election by 2, come up with some fantasy about me drinking pop. At least we know he's in Michigan. Fucking coward. If so, then your condemnation of white man is also based on suspicious Jew filter. What does that even fucking... Like, this is... Dumb white guys say this shit. You know me. I hate myself. I hate my white children. I condemn them. I sure do hate half of my family because they're white.
And your wife.
And my wife, who would be considered white. God, I hate them all. You know somebody's racist when they can't talk about racism. When the white guy doesn't say, yeah, I fucking hate the racism, it sure gives people like me a bad name. When the white guy denies racism, it's because he's racist. A lot of white guys are super racist and they just won't admit it.
Dave, get her off.
You get her off. Hands are full. She'll figure it out.
There you go.
She's so stupid.
I'm swimming.
Because I don't have a fucking a comment section full of dumb white guys saying dumb white guy shit. Because I haven't lived around white people my whole life and experienced how unbelievably racist and fucking, stupid they are. Nope. It's because I have to look through the Jew filter. Yeah.
Stop. Stop.
And don't get me wrong. The racism that's used is the prejudice that's used goes both ways. Because black people can't be racist. Black people can be prejudiced as fuck, but they can't be racist. Racist is deciding how much money goes into a school system, deciding how many grocery stores this place has, and that kind of shit. Racism is a much bigger thing than prejudice. Black people can be prejudiced as fuck, and the thing is, the cure for black people's prejudice, the cure for Asian people's prejudice, the cure for Latino, whatever the fuck they are, Mexicans prejudice, is ending white supremacy. Because all of that prejudice is in response to white supremacy. As soon as white people stop acting like they're better than everybody else and they're entitled to more than anybody else, well, except the Jews. They accept their position as second place to the Jews. But it's either accept second place or be treated like the blacks and the rest of them. Of course, white people are going to take second place over the rest. But it's this kind of like, it's like the people that think all Jews are part of that's what I'm saying. No, there are plenty of low-level, disgusting, breeder Jews out there that still have it better than the rest of us, but they're not a part of the thing. See, again, white people think when I say white supremacy, that means white people are supreme. And that's not what I'm saying. White supremacy is that I am white and I am supreme. That's that belief. That belief doesn't mean all white people are supreme. It means that that person is white and he's supreme, and even white people are beneath him. All you poor whites, you're beneath that white guy. He knows that. He's going to give you the benefit of the doubt over the poor black person, but he doesn't respect you. And that's the same thing as Jew supremacy. Although again, the higher up Jews think the lowest level Jews are miles above us Goyim. We are beneath. What's the thing that we're lower than the dog, so treat the dog better than you would the Goyim? Something like that. I don't know the exact quote, but that's what it is. That's how they're raised to look at us. And this notion of the condemnation of white man, well, our situation, everybody's situation would be better if white man stepped up. White man makes up 69% of the U.S. population, unless they're the white people that have Hispanic in their background but consider themselves white. Because even white people are racist against their own kind when that's involved. When you take that into consideration, then white people only make up 55% of the population. Black people make up 13% of the population. It's just a joke. Black people can't make anything happen. If I gave you a sandwich and it was, 87% shit and 13% ham, would you call that a ham sandwich? No. Now, you probably wouldn't do the same thing if it was 41% shit and 69% ham. But you'd be less likely to notice the shit if there was a lot more ham. But if white people would just step up and say, no, we're no longer going to be the Jewish puppets and be the dumb racist that we are. That we're all equal. Like, you know what scared them more than fucking anything I've seen in a long time? It was the George Floyd protests, and you saw a tremendous difference. The George Floyd protests had to be stopped immediately. I was shocked when I saw it because the George Floyd protests were like 60% white. It's the first time I've ever seen anything like that, and I'm sure they were shocked as well. And so they had to immediately be like, okay, it was Brooks. There was a Brooks guy, and then there was maybe his name was Blake. There were two guys, they were B names. One was in Atlanta, and it was at a Wendy's, where a guy he was drunk and passed out in the drive-thru. When the cops came, they were cool as fuck with him. They were like, man, you know, you broke the law. You gotta pay the crime. You fell asleep. He was like, come on, let me just, I'm a mile away. Let me just go home. He didn't want to go back to jail. So while they were handcuffing him, he grabbed the guy's taser and took off running towards other people. He could have jumped in anyone's car and shot him in the eyeball with a taser and killed them. But the police shot him they shot him and it got him in the back as he was running away. And that was lumped in with the George Floyd thing. And then at the same time, you had another guy in like Minnesota who had a knife, was standing on the right side of his car. There was footage. It was from across the street. You know, like the car was parked across the street, and on the right side of the car, this was happening on the other side, and this person filming it was in the apartment building on the other side of the street, and it shows black dude with a knife walking around all angry. The cops have their guns out and they're like, dude, stop. The guy walks around to the front of his car, opens up the door and reaches in like he's grabbing something. So they shoot him 6 times and he survives. Oh yeah, black people burnt down the Wendy's that the one shooting took place at because it's the Wendy's fault. But they lumped those things in with George Floyd almost immediately, and that absolutely killed the momentum. They accidentally distracted us too much because George Floyd had to happen. It was summer. It was about to be warm, and they couldn't keep playing the COVID card, so they needed a distraction to go for the summer until cold weather came around again and people started getting sick. They just underestimated the power of the George Floyd situation, of filming it and showing it, and I can't, I can't breathe. Or no, that was the fat guy. The George Floyd was crying for his mother or something. I don't remember. It was all bullshit. There was an interview with the little girl, his little girl, and it was supposedly taken before this happened. And they were like showing how cute she was, and they were like, what do you think about your daddy? And she was like, I'm so proud of him because he changed the world. What the fuck you talking about, little girl? Weird shit. But this is, the ultimate. So what they love to do is have us fighting each other. They literally have gotten us to the point where men and women are in competition over in sports. And then you have this transgender side of things, which is just silly. Why don't we just make a transgender league? If there's so many of them to begin with, why not just make a league? But we're being stupid here. You can't have all the physical advantages of being a man and compete against women. But at the same time, then, women have to admit that they don't compete with men. See, that's the part. Women don't like acknowledging that. Women like thinking Serena Williams would be higher than number 700, according to John McEnroe. Why can't you just say Serena Williams is the greatest tennis player of all time, John McEnroe? It's all stupid. These are all stupid distractions that shouldn't even be a thing. Yes, transgender people should have rights. No, transgender males should not be able to compete against females. That's not fair. You know what you never see in that argument? You never see this huge argument about transgender females trying to compete with males, do you? Why isn't that ever an issue? Because they don't. They're females. They don't compete with us physically. Look, dumbass John Short can't say anything else. The Trumpanzee who refuses to acknowledge that Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes, and yet the swamp put him in anyway, shit in his hands and throwing it around again. Fucking stupid, man. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And, you know, I appreciate these idiots more than I appreciate supporters. Right? I don't do this because I'm hoping I get a bunch of people coming in.
Well, and you know that.
Can I just finish my point?
Oh, sorry.
That you know, I appreciate all the people that come in and support me, but I'm not doing this for their pats on the back. I'm doing this because I want people to come in and tell me what I'm wrong about. And these people obviously disagree with me. And if they could tell me I was wrong about something, they would. But this is the best they can do. And I appreciate that example more than I can say. What now?
Well, and a lot of those idiots at some point will say something that somebody else is thinking.
Oh, exactly. There's a lot of stupid people out there.
Right. So, and maybe not all of it, but something that
Absolutely.
they say, other people are going to be like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. What
Absolutely.
about that?
That's why I always address what they say. That's why I challenge them to do the same thing back to me. Address the things that I say. Why is that so difficult? Other than you don't have the ability to, obviously. The mainstream media practically gift-wrapped Kamala the...
Oh, my goodness.
Yep, they gift-wrapped Kamala the answers, but she's still out here spinning words like she's auditioning for Iron Chef Salad Edition. Like, this is the stupid shit Trump supporters say. Like, they don't understand that both candidates are given the questions that are going to be asked beforehand. Whether they choose to read them and then study up, well, that's on them. And because we all know Trump's an idiot who doesn't read his briefings and stuff, to then say, well, she was given all the... Of course, they both were. That's what prepping is for. That's what they have a team for. And yet, you're dumb enough to fall for one side of it, but not the other. Not only are you dumb enough to fall for one side, you're dumb enough to fall for the dumb side. The side that can't even be bothered to learn the answers. That's how stupid you are. I am a Kamala supporter. So you're just as stupid. What should happen is that the 95% of the people they expect to show, they expect to vote, that we don't vote. That we say, look, I don't want to be slapped with either the right or the left hand. I refuse to play this stupid game anymore. You're not going to give us two choices and then tell us pick one. It's Republican or Democrat. It's man or woman. It's God or science. Like, it's all just, they do that all the time. They give us two choices, and then stupid people think they have choices. Kamala is a piece of shit too, no doubt about it. Kamala is a piece of shit Israel supporter who is married to a Jew and has a Jew vice president. There's no winning this. What matters is what they agree upon, not what they disagree on, not the show that they put on for us. Because the reality is, we all know after somebody wins, they never follow through with what they said. Read my lips. No new taxes. That's impossible. You can't have progress over a 4-year period without any new taxes coming through. You stupid fucking people that would fall for that. It's all just a dumb shit show to distract you from what they agree on. And the one thing they both agree on is that Israel has the right to defend itself. Nobody else has the right to defend themselves against Israel, but Israel has a right to preemptively defend themselves. Because when Israel attacks another country like Lebanon and kills 500 plus people, that's a preemptive strike. That's not an act of aggression or an act of war. That's a preventive strike. Now, if somebody then shoots something back into the Israeli Iron Dome so it can be shot down, well, that's the act of war that now Israel is obligated to respond to, usually within 24 hours, because seemingly they have all these targets already picked and they have all of their planes already fueled and all the weapons and everything's already ready to go. Almost like they are the ones that are shooting the rockets into a pre-designated airspace so that they can be shot down, and then it creates that false flag narrative. It's almost like that's happening. But that would be saying like these dirt poor Palestinians who aren't even allowed to have wood, according to Israel, because wood could be used to strike against the Israelis. Somehow they're able to sneak in. Israel claimed that Hamas launched 5,000 rockets in 20 minutes in the first 20 minutes on October 7th. 4 rockets per second for 20 minutes. I don't know how many rocket launchers you need to have to be able to launch 4 rockets per second. But I don't know, and I don't know how they snuck all those rocket launchers as well as all those rockets in through the brigade or in through the blockade that Israel has around it. But they did. They did. And then 99% of the rockets were shot down. The other 1%, well, the Iron Dome is intelligent enough to scan all those rockets, and the rockets that will either fall short or won't hit anything, they let those go. But every other rocket they were able to shoot down, and then immediately, not even 24, immediately they had 10, 15 targets hit in response. Not knowing whether there's Israeli hostages there, well, knowing, like secretly knowing, because there are no real Israeli hostages. But in the theory, you know, you don't just immediately start dropping bombs on a place where supposedly a bunch of hostages were just taken. Israel does. And your American tax dollars pay for it all. Just like how Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes, and the swamp that was going to drain that he was going to drain put him in anyway. These are just facts. These are just facts that I guess most of you just want to ignore, huh? Anyway, that's it. I can't do anymore. If you can hear in my voice, my body hurts. Like it's always so much. This takes so much out of me. You just have no idea what the rest of my day is like. And I don't even know why I do it. I'm just driven because somebody has to say these things. If Trump was really the right choice, why would Elon Musk be bribing people with $1 million to sign a pledge to vote for Trump? Why would you need to do that? Dick Gregory said, if it's good enough, people will steal it. So why would you need to bribe? It's like the same thing with COVID, with the vaccines. Why would you need to bribe people to get vaccines if they really were not only good but necessary? It's not how shit works. You don't have to. And trust me, like nobody outside of the circle is gonna get that Elon Musk $1 million. All the people that get the $1 million are going to be plants. It's all the fucking shit. This guy said, you weak. W-E-E-K. Oh my God. Thank you. You know what? Thank you. That is how we're going to end it. With such a prime example of typical Trump stupidity. Everybody have a great day. Pedophiles, kill yourself.